buckle up. I'm on a 10, I'm on a level 10. I wanna win, then I wanna win again. You thought I was done? I'm hoping it never ends. If you wanna run, then I'm on a level 10.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 3 of Red Bull Drift Masters, live here from Kildare in Ireland, Mondello Park, the home of Irish motorsport. My name is Ian Wallington, joined alongside by my very good friend Jacob Gettins. Jacob, welcome back to Ireland, back to Drift Masters, back to another event of unpredictability and heat on track this weekend.
Yeah, I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped to be back here. It really does feel like a second home to me. Just coming in, and everybody's been so incredible, taking some time. And as always with the Irish fans, just teaching me more about the history of Irish drifting. Every time I think I know enough, someone gives me something else.
It certainly does. Well, this place is steeped in history, but how did we get here? Well, we kicked off things at round 1 in Rome in Italy, where Conor Shanahan took the win. Then we went to round 2 in Madrid in Spain, where Peter Viensek took the win. We're here in Kildare in Ireland before we head to Finland, a brand new circuit. Then it's Riga, baby, Ferropolis, the Iron City, and all roads lead to the final at Warsaw, Poland, for the Red Bull Drift Masters big finale. Under the lights in that stadium, 55,000 people. But this is what happened in Spain when we were last there, when Titans went head to head and tears were cried and joy was filled on this podium.
Yeah, I mean, the second year brought some incredible results. I mean, Mika Keskikorpi getting on the podium for the first time. Look at that face.
Yeah.
Look at that face.
And that's what it meant to that young man, but this is what it means to this young man chasing the championship right now. And you can see Shanahan was throwing it down, and there was everything left on circuit in that battle, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, it ended up going to Piotr, and I mean, this is a battle as old as drifting is. It feels like, I mean, last year in the championship, it came down to them. Last year here, it came down to them. Last round, it came down to them. What will happen this weekend?
Well, who knows? Well, we will find out as we move things forward this weekend, as it's going to get heated on track. And this is our current standings in the championship. Conor Shanahan still leading those points, but Viensek creeping up on him now, 186 points. James Dean's still in the mix as well, but a few new names in the top end of the championship. Mika Keskikorpi jumping way up there in 5th place after that podium finish in Spain.
Yeah, Paweł Korpolinski 4th. Nick Knack, he's climbing up there as well. Jack Shanahan all the way down in 9th. I expect him to do some big things and move up a little bit further. Look at Espen Rhodes, 16th. We got some fun stuff going on with him we'll get to in a little bit. Laurie Heinen, former champion, only in 13th.
Yeah, certainly is. Look, things are heated here, but me and Jacob aren't alone, because as always, we have our very beautiful friend down on track. We're throwing it down to the one and only Queen Bee. Becky, it's still with you.
Yes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Drift Masters Championship. Becky Evans here, bringing you all of the gossip on track and off track. Now, we're about to head into our qualifying, and we have to talk about where we are. We're at Mondello Park. This really is the heart of European drifting. This track, as they say, is steeped in history. So many champions have forged their name here. And if you can make it right at Mondello, you might be able to make it right on the rest of the tracks of the season. So, I mean, let's look at what happened over the last couple of years. In 2023, Peter took the win. 2024, James, and then it went back to Peter Viensek in 2025. Will it be an Irishman that's going to take the top spot here this weekend? We don't know. It's all to play for. And with the weather here, it's so unpredictable. Rain, shine, snow. You never know. It all could happen. Fans, friends, family, they're all here. There's so many Irish drivers. They're bringing everybody to the stands. We can see the place absolutely filling up. But as I said, we're about to head into our qualifying, where people are going to really have to set their intentions for the weekend. And we don't know what's going to happen. But that's the fun of it, isn't it, boys? I'm going to hand it back up to Ian and Jacob.
It certainly is the fun of it, Becky, and that's what we love about Drift Masters.
Yeah.
How unpredictable it is. And it took many, many years for a European driver to take on the top step of the podium, but it happened here in Ireland a few years back at Drift Masters. This is the weekend schedule. We're kicking qualifying off right here at 2:30. Then tomorrow, exclusively on Red Bull TV, we kick off top 32 at 11:30 a.m. before we go to top 16 at 3:30 p.m, where we will go all the way from 16 down to 1. One winner will stand on the top step of the podium. Will it be an Irishman? Will they hold it down for their home country? Or will a European once again steal the crown? That will be found out later on today. And as Becky said, come rain or shine this weekend, drivers will have to throw down on this very tricky circuit, Jacob. This track steeped in history and synonymous for that over-the-hill blind initiation.
Yeah, it is an incredibly tough track. It is so high speed. You come through the gates and you've got a long time to think about what you want to do, but the judges have made it clear they want a big, faint initiation. So get those rear wheels into that first zone, straddle that line, coming through our first in and only inside zone, shoot the car out wide, but not too wide so you don't catch onto the grass, and then outside zone 4. It's a long time, and drivers really need to set it up well. Then it's a quick transition through 5, and then get that car rotated back out towards the wall, hold on through 6 as long as you can, back out to another wall, and then keep that car nice and wide out to the final zone, and hopefully everything comes together for you.
Yeah, certainly so. It's a tricky track. The initiation we've seen in many, many years being the most difficult part of this circuit. The wall runs comes easy to these guys, but nevertheless, this track always throws up a few surprises. These are the qualifying rules. This is what our judges are going to be looking at this weekend. 2 runs of qualifying, the best run counts. Top 32 drivers advance on to Friday for the finals, and up to 8 championship points for our best top 8 qualifiers. So points in the bag for some of these guys, just to help build on that championship as we run for the final at Warsaw in Poland. This is our qualifying start list, and this is how it's going to kick off. Stephen McConnell from from Scotland will kick off qualifying here before we move into our wildcard drivers that made it over from our Red Bull Drift Pursuit earlier on today. Those top 4 finishers, the young man standing on top step of the podium was Alex Butler in that incredible BMW E46. He'll be kicking it off a little nervous, but plenty of seat time today.
Yeah, I mean, they're really, out of the frying pan and into the fryer or whatever it is, but it's tough because you go from Drift Pursuit, re-gear the car, bring it out here and go for that, and go against all these incredible drivers as we rotate through the rest of this in reverse championship order. Now we get into to the pointy bit of it. Piotr, Connor will be the last 2 drivers going into qualifying, our last 2 in the championship. Man, what a rivalry this is really building up and continuing on. Yeah, it's going to be so fun.
It certainly is going to be fun. Well, strap in, ladies and gentlemen, for another round of Drift Masters, because it's time for qualifying. And no time for messing around, no waiting as we get the first driver on the line. It will be the man from Scotland in the UK, Stephen McConnell. Not his first appearance here at Drift Masters, but it will be his second time as a wildcard driver here at Mondello Park. 2 JZ Nissan Silvia S13, 780 horsepower, had a fire in practice yesterday in that practice session, got the car repaired and back out this morning. And what's he going to do now as he fires down, flicks that car in to that first point of initiation, a little shy there on that line, but puts the bumper over the curb is what we're looking for on that only inner clipping zone. Gets the car transitioned. Looks like he's lacking a little speed here, but maybe loosen the car up to make it easier in qualifying. Nice line so far as McConnell fires it down towards the wall. Starting to fulfill all of outside zone 6, tags the wall once again, looks for that final zone, and across the line for Stephen McConnell.
This is really solid to get things kicked off. I mean, I think for a lot of the drivers coming out of Red Bull Drift Pursuit, they're comfortable now. They've been in the car all day. They've worked out some gremlins, and this looks really, really good. I know the judges are being pretty direct. They want a big weight transfer over. They want you to flick that car out, and maybe that's one spot that it could clean up things a little bit. And you start to see that hill, which is actually double staged. You come down a little bit, you go into a bit of a dip, up a bit more of a hill, and back down again. But I'm really liking the way that this is coming together already for Steven. I mean, the jitters have to be nuts. As you said, wild card here back in 2023, takes a little bit, restructures, comes back, and I mean, for first driver out of the gate, I'm pretty happy with this.
Yeah, and he'll be happy himself, especially after a few gremlins in yesterday's practice. He'll be looking confident as he fires that car around Mondello Circuit. And as you say, that initiation, very a strange initiation if you've ever had the opportunity to drive here at Mondello Park, which I did just last year, thanks to some friends I have here in Ireland. It's such a, obviously I understand this track, I understand drifting, I understand how it feels inside the car, but until you get the opportunity to drive that part of the circuit, you don't understand that you cannot see anything on initiation. All you can see is the roof of the grandstand, and it's quite unnerving to flick the car in there. And these guys are doing it in 4th gear. I wasn't doing it at quite the speed that those guys were doing, that's for sure. But still, nevertheless, you still get that same sensation of the car going light and then getting up all the grip. 72.5 on the board for Stephen McConnell. I'll be happy for that on his first qualifying run.
Yeah, not too bad to get things kicked off. No. And yeah, I mean, there's some room for improvement for sure, but hey, don't we all have some room for improvement?
Yeah, certainly so, Jacob. You can speak for all of us there, I think, a little bit as we move things along to our next wild card of the weekend. It will be Dylan Garvey from Ireland, from Kilkenny, 26 years old, 2 JZ Nissan Silvia S13, 850 horsepower, brand new build for Dylan Garvey. See him in Drift Masters, trying to keep a full season under his belt, but he had to go back, reset, take some time. He built a brand new car, been doing some real good moves in Ireland in the National Series, and Dylan Garvey not shy of talent. His brother David Garvey in attendance as well, another incredible driver. Good to see the Garvey brothers in attendance here as he puts it around outside zone 5. Real nice job for Garvey at the moment, looks to flick it towards the wall. Very nice from Garvey, flexes the back bumper on that S13s, he puts it to the wall once again. Garvey up and across the line. This man is flying this year.
Yeah, you can tell the drivers, without even knowing their nationality, you're going to be able to pick out the drivers that were more or less born and raised at this track, especially when you start to look at outside zones 4 and 6. Some of the other spots might be a touch different here or there, but in those big outside I know, on the line.
Unbelievable.
Perfectly on the line.
Well, here we go. This we're going to move into now, our Red Bull Drift Pursuit drivers. These are the guys that finished in the top 4. We're going to start with our 4th place driver first. It's going to be Callum Coogan from Ireland in that BMW E36 3-litre M3, 280 horsepower. So this is going to be the lowest powered car. This is how we've done it, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a brief shot of what happened over there at Drift Pursuit. And you can see that tight technical circuit, had to throw it down. But Callum Coogan got that car around 280 horsepower. It'll be the lowest horsepower car we've seen at Drift Masters, I think, ever.
Yeah, I was doing some research back. I really don't think anybody's done this with less than 300 purposefully. Few of them losing cylinders and doing it. But.
Yeah, I mean, not under the wheel of wanting all the power. So this is going to be a massively reduced speed, but we're going to see what Callum Coogan do. These Irish drivers have this line dialed, and he'll know this circuit. A little wide there on that line, but now picks up that inner clip as he starts to work his way around. This, ladies and gentlemen, what you can do with 280 horsepower if you can really pedal a car, and you're doing a good job so far. As he puts it down, throws it down, looks for the wall, nice transition, slows that car down a little bit on the handbrake, now gets himself into outside zone 6. That's going to be tricky with the lack of power, but puts it up nice and high. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're in attendance, give him a round of applause, because what a sterling effort from this young man.
It also shows you how crazy fast so many of these cars have become.
I think it gives us a bit of a reality check. We've become so numb at Drift Masters, and I think all drifting around the world, of how fast these guys have got in the cars, and we're so used to seeing these guys pull 160 kilometers an hour as they initiate here at Mondello Park and places like Riga, for instance. But we take it back to what the grassroots drifting is, and a grassroots car. This is kind of, where everyone started.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's sobering. It really is sobering to see a driver like this. Judges letting me know. I mean, a bit of an issue there on that initiation section, that dotted line. They kind of want you straddling that part of it more towards the lead wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
But honestly, I think he had to sacrifice that just to get out to the other zone.
Yeah, I mean, look, he will get points deducted for not straddling that dotted white line, and it's going to be a 0, unfortunately. But he's down. He hasn't got the power. It's not like he's down on power. That car just doesn't make any more power. So to get the swing through, he has to go wide. So we're going to move things along. It's going to be Jakub Krzyzak right up now, as from Poland, Nissan Silvia S14.92 JZ 900 horsepower. Now,
there we go.
That's the kind of figure we're used to seeing, and a lot of talk around the paddock from local drivers and local supporters of Irish drifting saying if this man manages to get into Drift Masters, we could see him qualify. So let's see what he's got as he comes through the gears. Flicks that Silvia S14.9 track, a little wide though still, just about picks up that inner zone, stands on the throttle. Locks up the foot brake, flicks it in to outside zone 5. Nice line as he now works his way around. He'll look for the transition back before he gets up into the wall. Flicks that car, aggressively flexes the tailgate on the back of that 14.9. Final outside zone coming up and across the line for Jakob.
Very, very committed all the way through this run. It looks like a couple little jitters here and there just with the transition. You can tell it takes him a second. He's got to left foot brake the car a little bit here and there to really get it to come around, but not too bad out of the gate. Look at this. Gets the car broken free. Look in this angle. This is a new one.
This is a new one, yeah.
New one.
And you can just see the undulation there on the on the run-up to initiation.
Well, it shows you that elevation change of how much it drops down. So the car is going to be compressing right through here as you have to get the back end of the car around. It's a very difficult thing to do. Looks good coming over the hill. So that's that dotted line. They want that more towards that lead wheel.
Yep.
But outside of that, I mean, he's just catching that inside clip. He's got to get a lot of left foot brake there to get the car to come out to the outside zone. And then once he gets into zone 4, feeling a little bit more dialed, just a little bit more comfortable. That first section of the track is difficult. Once you get through it, it's kind of that exhale to be like, okay, now we can do the rest.
Well, let me tell you something about these Drift Pursuit drivers. They were all chosen because they are residents in Ireland. And these drivers know this circuit.
Yeah.
They're not learning this line because, you know, any other day that's run here at Mondello Park, these guys will be driving this wide line. Not this section particularly, but the rest of the circuit, they all know the initiation. They'll know where outside zone 3 is. They'll know the transition to 4. So they're not trying to learn the track. It's just trying to get around it in the Drift Masters layout. And we don't make that easy, as you've seen from round 1 and 2 in Italy and Spain. We make that line not particularly that easy for the drivers because we want to push them to their limit.
Yeah, it's never meant to be easy. 66.5 on first qualifying run. So same thing, a little bit more room to improve. Obviously, that dotted line, I think, is playing a pretty big part of that score.
Yeah,
but
certainly so. So we're going to move it along to Dylan Wilson up next. In this BMW E92 2JZ, 650 horsepower. I took a look around this car in the paddock yesterday evening, Jacob. Unbelievable car. Such a beautiful looking car. See what he can do as he sits on the line now for qualifying.
We were saying yesterday when we were kind of touring around, I'm like, these are all basically pro-level cars with a little bit of new vinyl on it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And they're there.
And there we go. Look, laser focus as he waits to get that green light and he's off the line. It's BMW E92. Comes off the line. Again, more than enough power to make it around. A little steady initiation, flicks that car to angle and a little wide once again on that dotted line. And that will just be the guys trying to adapt to that Drift Masters qualifying line, as we spoke about a minute ago. Good transition into outside zone 4, though, as he stands on the accelerator. He'll look for that transition and flick this car towards the wall. A lovely job as he slows down the handbrake. He's going to just about keep a rear wheel in outside zone 6 so before he pushes the car right to the edge of the circuit for 7. Nice job done and across the line.
Yeah, a little bit of concern there. Happy to get one out of the way. It's tough when you grab the handbrake right before 6. It's tough to fill the rest of the zone because we get on the throttle, the car's going to shoot forward just a little bit. So we'll see here, initiation, nice little swing there. I think the judges want even a little bit more. Yeah, there is that blend line we'll get into when we get into tandem competition, but you do have a fair bit of room to work with, as we can see. Look, it's just locked in.
Big clutch kicks as well.
Yeah, big handbrake there. Look at kind of pawing at the wheel to get it to come back around. So it's very different too when you realize you're coming over that hill as we talked about, and then you see all the fans, you see everybody sitting there, you're like, holy, like this is it. This is the big leagues now.
Well, it certainly is. And don't forget, these guys have been driving all day as well today. So they've been really putting in some work behind the wheel of the car. So to them, they're tired already, Jake.
Yeah.
For our Drift Masters pro drivers, they've had it easy.
They've had a chance to relax.
Yeah, they've been relaxing. They've had the teams working on the cars. They had a practice session this morning before we went live here for qualifying. A 62.7 drops in there for Dylan Wilson. And we're going to move it on to the winner of our Red Bull Drift Pursuit. First place, Alex Butler from Ireland, BMW E46 M50 Turbo.
Heard a lot about this kid.
Yeah, so there was a lot of talk around this young man over the course of the weekend so far. Everyone's saying that he is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's watching him drive a little bit in Drift Pursuit. I'm like, technical ability, as we're going to see here, him out in the lead there. Yeah. Technical ability is way up there. Yeah. Really good car control, really good car awareness of where everything is. Look at this. If you didn't get the chance to watch it, it was incredible, but it's a very technical track. So I got some high hopes. I mean, he's already got a championship under his belt at 16. That's going to say something.
Exactly that. He's already got a splash of champagne on the race suit. Can he get himself into Drift Masters, into the main show? That's what he'd be hoping for. A nice flick to initiation as he gets that BMW E46 where it needs to be. Nice. Got that white line onto the wheel as he transitions that car back to outside zone 4. A little dab of the handbrake now. Back on throttle again. He can connect the dots and keep this clean. He can find himself way up in the order. Could he upset a little bit of Drift Masters here and put a cat amongst the pigeons as he fires it to outside zone 6, full commitment, big clutch kick once again as he leaves the wall, looks for that final outside zone to cross the line, and now Drift Pursuit winner, Alex Butler, job done in the bag and almost gets a full 360 in as well, Jacob.
He's got to work on that part a bit.
Yeah.
The run was incredible, 360.
He's been watching the best in the business.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's phenomenal. That's really is phenomenal to come up here at this age and come out and run that. He's running some pretty skinny front tires too. Just noticing that. Look at this. As he comes over, you can see loading up that car, getting the weight transfer to come over, and then he'll get that car to flick out just as it breaks traction. And then basically you're kind of full throttle after that. So he does end up grabbing a little bit of handbrake. But yeah, after basically once you release, you got to be on throttle through the rest of it.
Yeah, certainly so. Yeah, this track demands full throttle. And again, speaking to some of the drivers from Drift Pursuit last night, unfortunately didn't make it, but congratulations to all of them being selected and driving in Red Bull Drift Pursuit here this weekend. And I'm sure they had a while of time. They were saying that there was a stark difference between drifting on the track for Drift Pursuit. They got an opportunity last night to practice this layout at the end of our practice session, at the very end of the day. And they said as soon as they got into the burnout box to warm their tyres, they realised real quick the amount of grip in the burnout box alone. And a lot of the drivers saying that they couldn't believe how different the track is between a national series, which runs a similar layout, the amount of grip that the Drift Masters boys throw down. So 66.5 on the board there for Alex Butler. So he'll be looking to improve on that.
The other part too is, I mean, you have to do so much gearing changes and everything else. Like it's really tough. It's a big change.
Right, back into our usual schedule. First driver on the line of our Drift Masters Circus will be Ite Sada. Had a bit of a rough season so far and not really found the form. We were looking for engine failure in Spain. Unfortunately, we didn't see him in qualifying either as he comes off the line. Carbon fiber BMW G87 2JZ, 1,000 horsepower, big flick to angle as Ite Sada is a little shy there on that dotted line, catches a whole bunch of understeer, now flicks it back across the circuit once again. Judges will be keeping an eye on that as he puts it into outside zone 6, looks for the transition. Car looking clean under the sun here. Mondello Park fires it to the wall, full throttle, no messing around. Asada hammers the throttle through the floor and across the line.
There we go. So yeah, now we're into more or less a regular scheduled program with some of these drivers. You can kind of start to see as well the drivers that have, you know, they've gone through everything our previous drivers have done. They've fought through now.
Down to that initiation of where these guys lose a lot of points because they'll be focusing on the understeer, that's for sure. So we wait for the score to drop in from our judges. Everyone in the grandstand having a good time so far this weekend as the sun shines on Mondello Park. It's going to be an 81.2 for Ite Sada. We're going to move things along. Konstantin Sharenko up next in that Trinity GT86. 2JZ at 890 horsepower.
Yeah, it's good to, his progression in practice was really, really good to see. Took him a little bit. I mean, this is a big step up from where he came from, an 11-year break in drifting, so shaking off the dust.
It certainly is a long time out of the seat as he smokes the tyre at the back of that GT86 off the start line. Fires it in, very tense initiation, big catch of understeer. Look at that front end straight on as Konstantin Sharenko fires it onto the grass. And it just goes to show you how easy it is to get it wrong there on that initiation.
Yeah, it really is. And some of that's just some hesitation as he came into it. You got to get the weight transfer over, and if the car doesn't come back around, this is basically what happens. So he's got, I mean, the back end of the car is not super gripped up, as we can tell, with it just kind of smoking the tires off all the way through. Gets it to transfer over, and it just doesn't want to come back around. Tries to grab the handbrake to get it to come through. Need to get right on throttle after that, but even that slight hesitation to get back on throttle was enough. He tried, he really did.
Yeah, I mean, look.
I wonder if there's a power issue there. Because you can see, like, the wheels start to spin, and then it just never breaks free again.
Yeah, a lot of drivers complaining about coming down to initiation, saying that they'll hit fourth gear. Normal routine is click fourth gear, clutch kick, let the car unsettle, which is the flick we like to call it.
Yeah.
They'll flick it one way, and then the driver's saying that the cars wouldn't rotate yesterday. They were struggling to get the car to rotate when they selected fourth gear, so it will be a 0 there for Constantine. You go back, a lot to think about in the break between him coming back out for the second run. We move it along to Enver Haskasap from Turkey, Nissan Silvia S15, 2JZ, 1,000 horsepower. The thumbs up and slams that car into gear as Enver Haskasap comes off the line. A huge carbon fiber spoiler hanging off the boot lid as he goes to rotate the car and flick it in again, and you can see a little wave on the steering wheel, but holds on to it, goes super, wow, big off for Enver Haskasap.
Oh, that's gonna wake you up. Oh.
Yeah, and he holds on to his neck, and we're going to make sure he's okay in the car, ladies and gentlemen, before we move things along. And hey, Jacob, is that one of your signature beanies out there in the wild?
I think I lost mine earlier. I think they found it. Yeah. I don't know if
He's okay, but thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause if you're in attendance. Enver Haskasap. And you see in the car, he's shaken, visibly shaken in the car.
Yeah, I mean, it would. That's a lot of speed to go into the dirt like that. I was wondering if he debeated before he even made it out there.
Yeah, so we're going to take a look back at the replay now, Jacob, and see if we can...
Okay. So, yeah, It sounds like he debeated maybe a little bit earlier, and then it just, you get back on throttle, and you've got half the grip than what you're expecting. So, see, this looks good. Big handbrake. He's on throttle, clutch kick, and then he knows right here. Ooh, brace yourselves. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, man. Yeah. This is what we were looking at.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
he's already
DB'd.
debeated. Yeah.
DB'd on initiation for Enver Haskasap.
So it's, I'm glad everything is all right. It seems okay, but yeah, either way, that's gonna shake you up a little bit.
Yeah, there was no way he was going to save that.
No, not with a DB.
Not with a DB, not on that corner, there's no way. I mean, we have seen it in the past.
Well, the hard part is, especially with the DB, is if you have the tire still on, you go out on the grass, you'll slide out.
Yep.
That's just going to work like a shovel and dig right in. So, wow, that is definitely big.
So there we go, a slow-mo replay, and you can see everyone. We're going to see their reaction.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. We made the same face.
We did the same face, yeah.
Oh, man.
We are hearing that Enver Haskasap is going to be taken away in a ambulance. That is just for precaution, ladies and gentlemen. That is procedure here at Mondello Park. We're going to take him off to our medical centre. He will be checked out by our trained professionals, and it will be a 0, unfortunately, for Enver Haskasap's first qualifying run. We're going to get that car recovered off circuit, back into the paddock, and he has a real good team around him, Jacob.
Yeah.
I went down there, and there was a lot of people down there helping out Enver, and obviously teaming up with Dwayne McKeever for 2026, so he'll definitely have his team on hand to make sure that car's ready to go for the second qualifying run, and not what we want to see.
No, I mean, knock on wood, it doesn't look all that bad. I think the accident itself looked more violent than maybe it was. Not seeing wheels pointed in every direction. Obviously, it stayed on all four. So yeah. It's good to see it's still in a decent shape.
Yeah, certainly so. And something to note: 2 0s back to back in qualifying. Both drivers going off track as well. So
yeah,
wonder if them track conditions have changed maybe slightly with the sun coming out in the last 2 hours. And don't say anything about any other weather.
No. What other weather? I was told as long as the wind is blowing, we're okay.
Yeah, that's the rumor here at Mondello Park. If it's windy, there's no
Yeah.
None of the other stuff.
None of the other stuff. So we're good. Keep the wind going.
So our track staff are going down there, going to clean that circuit and sweep it up. And as you can see, some people sporting some of our Drift Masters merchandise there. We get the next driver down to warm up. The car is going to be Kareem Hani from Egypt. BMW G87 M2 2JZ, 3.2 litre, 900 horsepower. Said he was struggling yesterday. I spoke to him in the paddock earlier on, and he said that he had a really rough day on Friday. He said. He said it just couldn't click. First time here driving at Mondello Park, and he said this morning after the practice session, after talking to a lot of the other drivers, he changed some things on the car. And another driver, pitting with someone with a lot of experience this year, teaming up with Benedictus Cherba. He said that that having that experience, that knowledge, having someone with you to help is just, you can't buy that knowledge. And
No.
I think that's helping Kareem out a lot.
Well, and Cherba's going to be very straightforward with it. He's going to be like, this is what you need to do.
No way.
Yeah.
So there we go. Kareem Hani gives a fist bump to our cameraman as our start line marshal Marcin down there has a quick check around the car to make sure we are all good, safe for flight.
Ready to go. Big Kareem. Yeah, excited. You know what, though? I've seen drivers have really, really bad practice. Like, nothing is going right. I didn't sleep. I haven't eaten well, whatever. They get on track, and sometimes that's just the motivation they need. Just go, you know what? Whatever. I can't get any worse. Let's just go drive.
Yeah, certainly so. Well, here we go. Off the line as Kareem Hani, the anti-lag fires from that 2JZ, flicks the car across the circuit into initiation, a little wide there, misses those dotted white lines, but he gets himself back into it. So we could have a clean pass of the circuit. Kareem Hani on the foot brake there, trying to push the back end of that BMW into outside zone. 4 transitions down now, looks for the wall, flicks the back end to it, doesn't want to scratch the paint on that beautiful G87. Second wall run coming up, and last outside zone for Kareem Hani.
Yeah, not too bad. Couple little hesitations in there that felt like nerves.
Yeah.
On the initiation, you'll see it where it takes them just a beat. And I mean, we're talking about 100th of a second, but it's those little moments that can make all the difference. So he's able to get that car pushed out. Even his transition coming from 3 to 4 looked a little bit like he just wanted to get it over with. You see, look at how early he gets that car out. Now, it can work. You've really got to push that car out. Does a good job of massaging it all the way out to 4, but it's not, I guess, necessarily the line that you would normally see by getting that transition done there. Nice thing is in qualifying, that's not really a factor.
No.
So it's a bit more of a choose your own adventure as long as you check all the boxes. But the rest of it looks good. Got settled in, gets the car down. He's on power through so much of it. I know as we start to move up, you'll start to see the handbrake gets used quite a lot less, and you can almost do the rest of this run purely on power. It's not easy, but it can be done.
It certainly can be done, and we will see
what a beautiful
some of our
car.
drivers do that.
It's such
a stunning car. It's so well put together as well, and it just looks so clean all the time. That headlight might need some attention.
I am partial to teal, though, so
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I never figured that one out.
News to everyone. But a solid run there. There's our drone coming in hot pursuit.
Yeah, there we go. Score drops in a 76.7 for Kareem Hani. He'll be happy with that for the first qualifying run. Straight out of the gate on a brand new circuit to himself as we go back to the start line to Timo Sunwa. From Finland, BMW M2 M50 B32, underneath the bonnet, 880 horsepower. And Timo Sunwa looking happy and relaxed yesterday, looks happy and relaxed right now as well. Big smile on his face, as always, as the visor goes down. He gets ready to fire the 2 Series over the hill here at Mondello Park as we jump on board, and he slams through the gears. Timo Sunwa flicks that car nice and wide, gets himself set up again. Another driver just pushing wide on those dotted marks, and that's definitely what's hurting these scores. But jumps a little bit on the curb but keeps it clean as Asumna now stands on the accelerator in front of the grandstand, puts it towards the wall. Big tag. Does upset the car a little bit, but stays in it as Timo Sunwa now looks for that final outside zone and across the line.
First good wall tag of the day. Yeah. Well, at least in qualifying. A few of them in practice. Yeah, a few of them in practice. But I mean, happy to see him get out here, get this run on the board. So on the run up, it looks good. Starts to get that car faded out, back on throttle, gets the car to come out wide. I think maybe a touch of handbrake there. If it was really, really quick. I think gets the car pushed out to 3, transition out to 4, a little bit easier there. You can see him keeping the revs up, even when he's on the clutch. Left foot is on the brake, and that's going to keep the front end of the car a little bit more compliant. You can actually add a bit more grip into the front end as well. You move some weight to the front. So a little bit of left foot brake can fight some understeer too if you don't go too far.
Yeah.
If you go too far, it's all the understeer. So it's a fantastic tool, and it's, I mean, really now left foot braking is so much a part of the game in driving. But yeah, great run. I mean, just massages it well. Does catch that wall pretty good, but it doesn't affect him.
No, a little wobble in the car. Judges
Yeah.
will be looking at that. It was a miscalculation on that transition, but nevertheless, stays in it. Gets the rest of the run finished. Is what we're looking for. As Timo Summer, you look at his inside the car when he hit the wall. You can see his head move.
Goes back.
Yeah, look, damaged the wheel on the wall. So yeah, keeps it going though, and that's like we say, what we like to see here at Mondello Park at Drift Masters.
And look at the tire coming off the
Off the
track.
track, yeah.
Yeah. So this is something that does end up happening. 81.7. Is they lay down a bunch of rubber, but there's a point where the track just can't take any more of it, and it starts to flake off, which means sometimes those zones get kind of slippery again.
Yeah.
So ever-changing track conditions here at Mondello Park, but that's why the best of the best.
Exactly that. We move back to the line to George Christoforou from Cyprus, BMW 1 Series E82, S50 turbo underneath the bonnet, 1100 horsepower. A 7-time Cypriot champion blows a kiss to his adoring fans watching along here at Drift Masters as he comes off of the line and through the gears. You can see maybe loosen that car up for qualifying, start to blow the tyres off already as he flicks it to angle. And Christoforou now stands on it, looks for the transition times. It lovely, goes very wide but makes it work as Christoforou really puts that car high on the outside zone, flicks it back, and George Christoforou come this weekend with passion as he puts the hole back into the wall and to the wall once again as Christoforou sheds the body panels and gets the job done.
Wow, that's a fun one.
Yeah, that's a fun run.
That's a fun run. That's take the grip out of the car and just go out and party. So and the first thing I thought is like angle score is going to be great. Like he really gets this car super wide, especially when he went into 4. But look at this. I mean, it's still very smooth. The car is. It doesn't seem like it's fighting him at any point in time. Gets up to 4. I thought he was going off track.
Yeah.
So no side bite in the car. So it's floating out wherever he wants it to. A good chunk of forward bite though, because when he gets on throttle, it's still shooting forward, but he's at full lock. So all it can do is stay sideways. Transitions look good. So yeah, I mean a couple little mistakes here and there, but we want to talk about a fun, entertaining run. That's it. That's one of those ones you throw down right at the end of the day. Tires are almost gone, and you're like, I got to put it on the trailer, but I want to do one more lap. That's the kind of lap you throw down. Oh, look at that. Little kiss. Pushes him a bit out of the zone.
Yeah, does kind of make him triangulate the zone.
The second one, there it is.
The second one as well.
Yeah.
Gets that one done nicely. It doesn't upset the car, but this one kind of just upset the car.
did catch
I think
the
it's
wall.
tire on the wall, yeah.
That's tough too because you can debead really quick doing that. Yeah, and a lot of these cars in the back end are kind of built to push up. So if you catch the wall, they all just kind of move up, out of the way. Clint Van Orts is famous for that. But yeah, the problem with that is now your tire is the next thing to hit the wall. So thankfully that wasn't the case there.
Yeah, look at this, our wall camera here from Red Bull TV. Oh, just perfect placement.
That's going to get some action this
It
weekend.
certainly is going to get some action this weekend as our fans surround the track here at Mondello Park for Red Bull Drift Masters, and the score drops in, a 74.2 for George Christoforou in that first qualifying run. Start to move through the action, the drivers start to heat up.
Good angle score.
Good angle score, yeah, you were right.
17
Yeah,
out of 20.
just see it before it disappeared off the screen. We go back to the line, Kevin Pascotti from Hungary to a GR86 2JZ, 800 horsepower, brand new chassis for 2026, making the move from that BMW, that V8 supercharged BMW as he works the car off the line through the gears quickly. As he hooks fourth gear and flicks the car to angle. Nice from Kevin Pascotti. He looked absolutely rock steady in practice this morning, and can he put it down right now, or it counts in qualifying as Pascotti puts it to the outside zone. Good line from the Hungarian as he flicks it up towards the wall. Very nice job from Kevin Pascotti. Just a touch of handbrake, but makes it work as Pascotti looks for the final zone to cross the line.
That is a very quick car. That is a spicy car right now. So fantastic work there for Kevin Pascotti. Man, just coming right out of the blocks. I was like, okay, he's got some pace in this. Gets the car flung out, catches that zone quite well. He's on the inside of it for sure. See him come over that, but like, look at the pace out of this car.
He's a little deep on the inside, though.
Yeah.
He kind of puts a wheel. We want to see the front bumper over the curb in there for that inside zone. We don't want to see a wheel on the curb or in the dirt. That's what the judges are looking for. They're looking just for the front bumper to be hanging over that curb. And you're looking.
I'm just looking at the pedals and
You were
where it's
watching
like,
what he was doing.
yeah, I was just
Trying to get some tips.
just trying to see if he's fighting for grip or he's running the red or the red line to it. Because there's a couple of different ways you can set up the car, but you can tell he's trying to find the grip in the car. He wants it to go faster.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens here in qualifying. But man, already taking a look ahead to tomorrow, I would take note of how fast this car is.
Yeah, it certainly does
Yeah.
look fast taking.
He caught me staring.
Yeah, I thought you were staring. There we go. Look at
Yeah.
that. The first one in the bag, a 90.7 for Kevin Pascolti as he drops in a big score here in qualifying for the Hungarian driver as we move into a man that's driven this track more than anyone. A man that is famous for creating some incredible Irish drifting. It is, of course, Dave Egan from Maynooth. Toyota Supra GR2 JZ 925 horsepower. Said that he's already fulfilled what he wanted to do this year and qualify, but can he qualify here on home soil as he puts the wheel up onto the curb, holds onto it, Egan goes deep, but makes it transition, keeps a hold of it as Egan puts it in to outside zone 4, stands on the throttle of that 2JZ, opens it up as he looks to flick it towards the wall. Egan, nice job into outside zone 6 now, one last outside zone to go for Dave Egan as he stands on the accelerator and across the line.
Wow. I mean, special happy birthday as well to Mr.
Yep.
Dave Egan.
Happy birthday to
Yeah.
Mr. Egan.
Yeah, not too
42
bad.
years old today, same age as me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
The two old guys of drifting.
Learn something new every day. Yeah, Dave, I mean, he knows this track. He knows it really, really well. Gets caught a little bit too far on the inside and actually ends up pushing him a little bit
far
wider
wide,
out.
yeah.
That's the tough part with it. And Dave actually brought up an interesting point earlier on, and that is because this track loops back around itself, a lot of the times on that initiation, marbles can be kind of shot out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Because at the end of the run, the tires are just more or less falling apart at this point, and it can shoot a lot of marbles out from the run before. So he kind of brought up like, hey, the initiation, it can change every single run. So I'm not trying to build any excuses for him on that one, but yeah, it's just something I never thought of until he brought it up. But for Dave, I mean, outside of just catching a wheel in the dirt, not too bad to get things kicked off for him.
Yeah, no, certainly so. And I'm pretty sure Dave Egan will know exactly what he done wrong inside the car, and he'll
yes.
go back and think about that. The team will be watching the broadcast back and learning from the mistakes, and they won't make that one again as we see those beautiful slow-mo shots from our Phantom camera here at Red Bull TV. Dave Egan, look at that, laser focused in the car.
Rock steady hands too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The development of this car has been incredible too. So
Yeah.
much easier to drive, it seems. I haven't driven it, but like
I was just going
it
to say,
just looks a lot
did
easier.
you take it last night?
I just had a little quick one around the parking lot, little cheeky one.
There we go, score drops in for Dave Egan. It's going to be a 71.5 on the board for the man, the hometown hero. What can he do on that? He's 8th at the moment, but things are going to change as we get through the grid. Jarkko Jula up next on the line from Finland. Toyota Chaser JZX 100 2JZ 900 horsepower. Had a bit of an issue in practice. The oil and water cooling system on the car had failed, and they had to make some quick repairs and get that car back out. But it looks like it could be working 100% right now as Jula fires it into initiation, grabs a little bit of understeer. He's going to go wide, yeah. Pushes him way off the circuit. He's going to get himself back into it. I could believe that could be 4 wheels off track there for Jarkko Jula as he tries to fulfill the rest of the run. As Jula sticks it in to outside zone 6 and 7 and across the line. And we see the on board. So Jarkko Jula, yeah, look, little upset in the car there. You can see a little dejected. Jacob, you were chatting to the judges just then.
Yeah, judges let me know it ended up being 3 wheels off for him, so that is going to be an incomplete on that one. So
Yeah.
2 is okay, 3 not so much. There it is. I mean, it's 4.
Yeah, it's 4. Yeah,
So-
that 1 point. And you can see that white line on the back side of outside zone 3 is what we're looking for. That is our marker of where we denote that outside of the circuit. So that white line behind the outside zone, you can see it. And
Yeah.
you're watching him in the car. You can see, yeah, grabbing understeer, massive amounts of understeer.
Yeah, I was trying to see if anything else went on in the car. Sometimes you can see something happen before it ends up happening. But in that one, just going wide.
Yeah, well, 15 drivers have made it through qualifying at the moment, 3 with 0, so things can be stacking up. We go back on the line. Juha Puutelatsko sits on the line from Finland, BMW 92 2JZ, 900 horsepower. The OG have finished drifting. What can he do as he slams through the gears as Juha now puts that down? You see the front end of the car dip down, just jumped on the foot brake a little bit, maybe to slow that car down, keeps it on circuit. Nice job from the flying Finn as he puts it in to outside zone 4, full throttle. Opens it up, looks for the transition as Juha Puutelatsko fires that car in backwards. Whoa, almost didn't think he was going to hold it, thought he was going to wash completely off circuit. As Puutelatsko puts it to the final outside zone and across the line.
This feels like the Juha Puutelatsko that we knew from a while ago. Yeah, he's kind of come back. I don't know if maybe he dialed things back for the last little while, kind of knowing that sometimes he would overcommit and cause mistakes, but this seemed both calculated and wild at the same time. Because as he came into the initiation, you could hear him on and off the throttle, once again finding that grip, but really massaging the car out. And then when he transitioned into 6, it was like, okay, he's kind of whipping the car backwards. Look at this big angle coming through. So nice to see the old and the new coming together. Yeah,
I like to see drivers throw their own little bit of flair at a run. I like to see the style come into it as well. And I think a lot of these drivers play a little bit too safe sometimes, and they're worried about throwing some flair at it. We know there are a few drivers that always throw flair at it.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I'm hoping he becomes one of them.
Yeah, but it's good to see Juha doing that once again, and some beautiful shots. Not sure how the judges are going to take it though, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them going through, checking all obviously the zones for the line, and everything seems pretty good. I think one that a lot of drivers are forgetting about is the final zone. And a lot of them kind of are unwinding the car right at the end when they could be kind of throwing more angle at it and making sure that they really ended on a statement. But yeah, we'll have to see how that comes into play as the scores start to come in.
Yeah, the scores are going to drop in for Juha's first qualifying run of the day before we keep the action flowing as we get through these drivers, and your fans enjoying the action as we believe it will be sold out Mondello Park tomorrow. Here we go, score drops in an 84.7 for Juha. He'll be happy with that. It was a nice score on the board for that first qualifying run, and angle 17.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there was no doubt. There was no doubt a big angle. We're on the line with Clint Van Oort, the man from the Netherlands. Nissan 206 S14A 2JZ 900 horsepower. As he comes off the line in the unmissable yellow S14A. Through the gears comes Clint Van Oort, big flick. And this is a man with lots of style, and he likes to show it off. It's good so far from Clint Van Oort as he fires that car into outside zone 4. This is beautiful from Van Oort. He goes wide. Oh! Drops a wheel over the edge of the circuit, stays in it. Hand up though, as he was angry with himself there. Clint Van Oort knew he maybe missed time. A little dab of the handbrake. Back on throttle though goes Clint Van Oort. Looks for that final outside zone to cross the line.
Great job not throwing it away, but I'm already hearing that this would be considered an unchaseable run.
Yeah, I mean, and you can tell why. He's kind of triangulating outside zone 4 as well. We're going to see where it all went wrong for Clint Van Oort as he flicks that car in. Body panels being shredded on initiation from the speed. Gets a little deep there and then shallows off the angle to hold on to it, but then he's carrying a lot of speed. You can see just tries to slow it down, but the car is still gaining speed and puts a wheel over in the gravel.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough go there. You can tell he's trying to accelerate out of it for a second, and then he comes off throttle, but car just wants to keep sliding, and unfortunately that's going to mean a 0 or an incomplete.
Yeah, so it will be a 0 for Clint Van Oort on their first qualifying run, and big commitment there on initiation as well. And it looked like he was really going to push for that one, and he certainly was pushing. We go back on the line to Jakub Kroll from Poland, from Lodz. This Sylvia 200SX, S14.9 carbon Kevlar car, 2JZ 920 horsepower. As he comes off of the line, Jakub Kroll, brand new livery for 2026. Always cool, calm and collected, the man, the top qualifying at the final round of Drift Masters in Poland, in Warsaw, at Pege Narodowe. He'll do it here once again. That's absolutely beautiful from Jakub Kroll as he fires it to outside zone 5. Big flick up towards the wall now as Kroll just dabs the handbrake to set that car up. Back on throttle again as Kroll final outside zone across the line.
Yeah, it's really easy to forget how good he can be in qualifying. Yeah. And every once in a while, he just pulls it out of the bag and has something very, very special. I mean, similar to a few other competitors, I found with this qualifying, it's very calculated and does need a little bit more of that flair. But, you know, you got to remember, line carries so much of the point system that you can lose a little bit in angle, and it doesn't mean as much than losing it in line. And for Jakob Kroll, he really, really goes to that super high line score. Look at him getting into outside zone 4. Does a really good job through there. I mean, almost getting all the way to the edge of it through the entire zone. Transitions look good. Like I said, not a ton of angle, but go for the line. 60 points, so might as well go for it.
Yeah, exactly that. So Jakob Kroll doing a good job. You find with these Polish drivers that they are absolutely phenomenal at line driving.
Yeah.
They're so clean, they're so calculated with it, and I think Jakob Kroll and Val Korpolinski, Peter, they're all drivers that you paint a line on the track, they'll drift it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's really been the Polish drivers that have picked up and found more style or more angle that have ended up kind of moving through the ranks.
Yeah. Connor Falvey getting ready down there in the paddock, ready for his qualifying run, saying thanks and good luck to the team as he jumps into that carbon Kevlar Nissan Silvia S15 and ready to get himself down the back end of the circuit to warm up tyres. We need the score to drop in from Jakob Kroll, though, the man from Poland.
Yeah, one more set of exams to go for Connor Falvey.
I think he's done them.
No, he still has music.
He still has music.
Yeah, I believe saxophone and piano is what he told me. That's what he's got left. I didn't know he
So
played
he's a
the
musician?
Sax. Well, I don't know. He told me he still has to play the sax. He could be pulling my leg, but he seemed very serious.
I think he's winding you up.
Might be.
Because I'm sure he told me the other day.
Irish people never wind people up. That's
No,
not.
no?
No, it's
You
never
don't think
happened.
so?
No. I'm just that gullible.
Well, there we go. 88 drops in for Jakob Kroll. We'd be happy with that, that's for sure. And he'll know the few little points like all of these drivers do. Drops himself into second place at the moment. Only Kevin Pascoli sitting with a 90. To go back on the line, Harry Kerr from Ireland, 2JZ, 850 horsepower. BMW E46 with the F22 body kit on it. He slams through the gears. Harry Kerr said that he'd love to do well here on home soil. What can he do right now? It's beautiful from Harry Kerr. Nice initiation. Look at that. Locked dialed in as Harry Kerr fires the car across the circuit for outside zone 4. Back on throttle so early. Harry Kerr is on an absolute flyer right now. And what can the young man do as he fires it up towards the wall? Oh, it's beautiful from Harry Kerr. Fills all of outside zone 6 to the wall once again and across the line for the young man from Ireland.
I had high hopes for him. I really did.
Wow.
I mean, he had his national pro license at 15. That should just give you an idea of how good he is. Now, he's only 22 now, but that's 7 years already driving at a pro level. So that is massive. Great job on the initiation. Good job straddling that line. And he's just on throttle through so much of this run. I mean, this is one of those drivers who's very, very comfortable here. Could probably drive it in his sleep. This is going to work. Look at the same look on his face as the one I've got commuting. Just, yeah, okay. Oh, I got to make my turn here and merge in with traffic. Dials the car in, just feeding it a little bit. Bit of a clutch kick there just to keep those wheels spinning, but very, very calm all the way through. Transition done nice and early. Does it nice and wide on the track too. Just everything that you're looking for in a solid run.
Yeah, I like the commitment from Harry Kerr.
Yeah.
He came out the bat absolutely flying. There was no messing around. There was no checking up. There wasn't any fault put into the run. Not like he wasn't trying to think about the run. The run just flowed. It just came straight out of him into the car and that translated onto the circuit. Beautiful, beautiful qualifying run there for Harry Kerr. And I expect a big score to drop in here.
Yeah, same here. Is it going to top qualifying? Where are we? 90.7 right now for Pascolti?
Oh, an 86.5. So an 86.5 drops in. I'm sure we'll hear from our judges of where he lost those points. We are going to catch up with David Kalas in between the break between the first and second qualifying runs to see where these drivers can improve as we go back on the line to another Irishman. Will be Alan Hines. Nissan Silvia S15 2JZ, 900 horsepower. That James Dean built S15 that's travelled the world, done events in Oman and is now back in Ireland where it was built, firing down the circuit as Alan Hines puts that car to angle and through. Now only in a zone. Looks for the transition, jumps on the handbrake very, very early and slows it down as Alan Hines now works his way around outside zone 4 on throttle. Looks for the transition for outside zone 5, flicks it towards the wall. Good job from Alan Hines, very clean line from Alan Hines. He stands on the foot brake, puts it to that final outside zone and across the line.
Yeah, really well put together. I know the whole team was struggling to get the suspension set up in the front end. They said it was bouncing quite a lot. It wasn't compliant. And some of it is just driver preference too. Some drivers don't mind having a really soft front suspension. Other drivers want things a little bit tighter. For Alan, he knows what he wants. He's put in thousands and thousands of hours as a very, very world-renowned sim drifter. And, now putting it together on his home track. Look at that, lifting that front wheel. So still probably, I would guess, maybe a little softer than what he wants in the front end. But a bit of weight jacking there does big things. You get a ton of grip on that outside wheel. And everything else looking, just status quo for him. Transitions are good. Tons of angle on throttle through so much of it. Look at this. Big swing to get the car around as he flicks it back into 6. Bit of a handbrake just to settle the car coming into the first part of that zone, and everything else looking really, really good.
Yeah, really good from Alan Hines. I think there's just a few moments for me there where he kind of lacked a little bit. The handbrake drag into outside zone 4 was kind of a little bit, expected a little bit more from Alan Hines. We know how good he is. This man puts in hours and hours on a simulator and would have done a fair few laps of that brand new carbon fibre back end on that S15 getting pushed up into the wheel and at 80.5. Yeah, and I think those little moments of hesitation from Alan Hines is reflected in his score as we go back on the line to Simon Olsen, the man from Norway. It's Sylvia S 14.92 JT, 1130 horsepower. Wow. And we go off the line. Another James Dean built Sylvia off the line and through the gears and partnering with James Dean for the 2026 championship as Simon Olsen catches a whole bunch of understeer but keeps a hold of it, gets that car on the track, fires it in to outside zone 4, stands on the throttle, and that initiation, that only inner zone will be the talking point of this weekend as Simon Olsen does a good job so far hanging that spoiler over the wall and across the line.
Yeah, once he got over the jitters of initiation, everything else really came together for him. So Simon, he can be pretty expressive, and there it is. There's the head shake.
Yeah,
he'll know. I mean,
they'll all know. It back on the line to man from Portugal, Diogo Correa now sits on the line, BMW 3 Series E92, a Mercedes-Benz M104 engine underneath the bonnet, making 900 horsepower. Different engine choice to most other drivers on the grid, but worked for him now for multiple years. He has had his ups and downs, so what can he do here at Mondello Park as he clutch kicks that car, flicks it to initiation. Beautiful so far from the man from Portugal, but just went wrong on initiation, and I wonder what is happening down there. It looks like it's a fine line between enough grip in the car, enough grip in the front tyres to make it round, and it seems like when you are on that perfect line, it is a knife edge, Jacob.
Yeah, it really feels that way. I mean, it looked good through here, and then same thing, like you're expecting, you get on throttle, there's going to be a bit of forward drive, and the car's going to want to shoot forward, and it just doesn't for him. Like, he's still making smoke, he's spinning the wheels, but it just never bites to shoot him forward.
No, very strange.
Yeah.
Very strange indeed. And I'd love to talk to some of these drivers and find out exactly what's going on. And you can see the compression there. Look, tyre smoke off the front wheel on compression.
All right, speaking about getting nerdy, I'm wondering if the suspension is so soft in the rear, he's bottoming it out completely.
Yeah.
So he's just no longer making mechanical grip to drive the car forward.
Yeah, no, so that will be a 0 for Diogo Correa. And that's a 5th driver with a 0 at the moment. We're moving through them very quickly here as we get back on the line with Jason Benet from France, Subaru BRZ E2JZ, 950 horsepower as the Frenchman. Always cool, calm and collected. Wow, what an initiation. Big flick to angle. Now, is that the key? Get the car on angle, make it work and make it fire down the hill here at Mondello Park as Jason Benet stands on the accelerator through outside zone 4, and this is good from the Frenchman as he flicks that car to the wall. Aggressive once again from Benet as he looks for that final outside zone to cross the line. He's not messing around this weekend.
Oh, wow. That felt like it came out of nowhere. Like, I don't know the last time I saw Benet just huck the car like that.
And I think that might be the key.
I think you're right. I think a hesitant initiation means you have too much speed.
Yeah.
But something like that, though,
He's still caught understeer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's more just a correction.
Look.
Yeah, it feels like it was more of him just trying to drive that car a little bit more forward. But look at how chilly he looks in the car. I would be not that sleepy.
You'd be very panicked, I'd say,
yes,
Jacob.
100%. I'd be rolling down the windows, but Wow, look at this. All the way through the zone, that outside wheel just caressing the line all the way through 4. 5 looks good. Transitions are nice and strong. I mean, this is a big run. This is a really big run from Jason Benet.
Yeah, this is a good run from Jason Benet. I like it. I like this again as well. Another driver using big angle and just a little bit of a handbrake. You can see him there on the handbrake before he entered outside zone 6 and used that angle to slow the car down and get himself into that zone and stands on the throttle. 93.7, judges liking that. Jason Benet tops qualifying at the moment as we now starting to get to the thick end of the championship. Connor Falvey up next, another local driver, Nissan Silvia S15 2JZ, 1,050 horsepower. Fresh engine after engine problems in Spain, and we see him knocked out of competition due to a damaged engine. He's back this weekend and he flicks the car to angle, misses that dotted line but holds on to it. It's going to go wide, but he keeps a hold of it as Falvey fires it into outside zone 4, stands on the accelerator right to the edge of the circuit. For Connor Falvey as he puts the car back across the track, up and towards the wall. Oh, flexes the back end off the wall and does it again as Falvey looks for the final zone and across the line.
His dad told me there wasn't a run where he went by the wall that he didn't touch it. Like, you poor man. That's a lot of taillights. Big initiation here, lifting that wheel up. So still need him going through that initiation line. That's going to be big when it comes to the points here. But catches the inside zone. Does a great job there. Just about wide. Like right on the razor's edge of shooting that car off track. And look at this. Maybe comes out of the zone for a second. But man, this is another big aggressive run from the 18-year-old.
Oh, that's a big... They're lucky the back end of that car is held together with hopes and dreams, because if it was solid, it would have really affected his line, but it really worked for Falvey. And look at this, another beautiful shot. Look at that rear wheel on the line. It just wanders away a little bit. Oh, I thought he rubbed it. He didn't. He got so close.
Yeah, this is another one. Larry Heinonen, happy to see him back.
Yeah, leaving the pits right now. This is live from the paddock of Laurie Heinonen. You can see the welder out. That is because overnight Laurie Heinonen yet again changing another engine. The rear main oil seal on the back of the block failed yesterday in practice. He said he was fortunate that they had plenty of time overnight. They swapped the engine out for another brand new engine. So no spare engines now if anything goes wrong for Laurie Heinonen. If not, it'll be a long night for the team once again. But back out on track and said that he was feeling confident after a few runs in practice earlier on. We wait for that score to drop in for Connor Falvey.
Yeah, not having a backup is not a great situation, especially in an engine that you can't get anywhere else in the world.
Exactly that.
It has to come from overseas.
Such a different engine choice. An 86.7 for Connor Falvey, drops him into 4th place at the moment as we go back on the line to Benediktas Čerba, a man who we spoke about earlier on, all the way from Lithuania. BMW G42 2JZ, 900 horsepower, looking confident. Had a little off earlier on though. On initiation, that car just washed straight off the track towards the wall. He held on to it, no damage, fortunately enough. As he now works his way through the gears, we jump on board with Benediktas Čerba in the Čerba fighter as he flicks it to angle. Very different initiation to some of the other drivers, but makes it work, that's for sure, as Čerba jumps on the handbrake, slows the car down, now stands on the accelerator. You see that puff of tyre smoke from the front wheels. He pushes the back end towards the white line. Čerba looking comfortable as he puts it right to the edge of the circuit. Čerba on a flyer right now as he looks for the final outside zone across the line for the Lithuanian.
Yeah, the initiation was interesting. It was just, it took him a second.
Yeah.
It took him a second to get that to really come to angle.
Man,
went for
I love that car.
So do I. Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. But yeah, look, it gets the initiation. Just, it's like it stopped turning and then he had to fight it to get it to come back around.
Yeah.
It worked. It definitely worked. It wouldn't be great to chase, admittedly. You'd be a little concerned with how that went. But he makes the best of the rest of the run. Really laid back driver position. You and I were taking a lot of looks at like how different drivers are set up in the car, and he's back there. He's like recliner mode.
He's comfy.
Yeah, I would be too. There's a few of them that are right up close.
Yeah.
We'll get to them, but yeah, Čerba looks good. Transitions, everything else is good. Just that initiation is really sticking in my mind. Car came to angle, stopped, and then went back to angle again. It didn't straighten. It just stopped rotating halfway through.
It was odd, and I wonder what that is.
Yeah, not sure. Rest of it worked out well though.
It certainly did. Yeah, very nice rest of the run there for Benediktas Čerba, and he held it down perfectly. And I like the way that this car is so settled on the suspension that when he gets off the handbrake, he clutch kicks the car and it just sits dead certain. There we go. A 90 on the board for Benedictus Cherba puts him into third place in a moment, and the 90s I think are going to start coming thick and fast now as we move through the championship. Marco Zacharil from the Czech Republic up next, BMW F22 M2 with that Volkswagen 2-litre engine underneath the bonnet. 700 horsepower as he gives a wave to his fans back in the Czech Republic. Through the gears comes Zacharil. Nice initiation, sets that car up, big dab at a handbrake, but makes it work. And look at this, right to the edge of the circuit, comes up actually a little short. He's going to come up short here if he's not careful, but makes it work once again. Zacharil using all of the power available from that little 4-cylinder Volkswagen engine, fires the car, big angle towards the wall, flirting with danger as Zacharil fulfills the run and across the line.
It was an interesting transition there between 3 and 4, and we'll get back to it. I don't know how he ended up making it work, but that's why he's driving, and I'm just talking about it. Initiation looks good. Lots of suspension travel into that car, and it sounds like 1,000 bees chasing you through a forest. Here we go.
Yeah, it comes up a little short on 3.
Yeah, but he transitioned very, very early, but floated the car all the way out to 4. And usually when you see that, there's not a lot of side bite in the car, and you'll find they'll just kind of keep floating forever. But he caught it, got back on throttle, made it look all right. It'll be the same thing. It'll be an interesting one for drivers to have to chase if the qualifying goes well and he can make it into competition tomorrow. But yeah, it's good. It's just a different take on how to run this track.
Yeah, and I think every driver that we have on the grid, they bring their own different way of driving the track.
Yeah.
Now, I think we've become so accustomed to seeing, that perfect qualifying run here at Mondello Park that it's always good to see drivers come back year on year and try something different. An 87.5 for Marco Zacharil will get himself into the show for now as we move things along. 5th place at the moment. Espen Road on the line next, and an interesting story overnight for Espen Road. Cracked the cylinder block yesterday in practice. They pulled the cylinder head off while me and you were there, Jacob. And instead of changing the engine, well, they filled the cylinder block with concrete.
Yeah.
And they're only flowing water through the cylinder head. Will it work? He said, all I need to do is qualify. He fires it in, catches a bit of understeer, stays in it though. As Espen Road, the man from Norway, that BMW F22 with the M50 turbo underneath the bonnet, 700 horsepower. I don't know if it's making all of that right now, but he flicks it to the wall. Espen Road shatters the tail light, knocks the back bumper off the car, puts it to the edge of the circuit and across the line, and it's job done.
Yeah, he was asking for directions to where the local
Builders
shop
merchants,
was. Yeah.
He was looking for a builder's merchant so he could buy a bag of pre-mixed concrete to dropping in. I'm kind of noticing here now, we've got a whole bunch of 87s.
Yeah.
A lot of drivers getting similar scores. Back on the line to Kevin Basser, the man from Estonia. BMW M2 G87 M50 turbo underneath the bonnet, 1,000 horsepower as he lights the tyres off the line. And he works his way down to initiation. A very fast car. We know this man is an incredible driver. Look at that, right on the white line, bumper over the curb. This is beautiful stuff so far from Kevin Basser as he slams on the handbrake, sets himself up nicely for outside zone 4 and fulfills it completely as he now looks for the easier portion of the circuit as he transitions up to the wall into 6, looks for the second wall run, job done, final outside zone coming up, wheel right to the edge of the track and across the line.
Yeah, he's known in the paddock as one of the fastest cars out here. He's very, very often just running that ragged edge of how much speed you can get out of a car while still keeping it sideways. This one didn't maybe feel as much, maybe took a little bit out of the car, but great job on initiation. Caught a little bit on that inside, but outside zone 3 looking good, coming over the hill, lifting a wheel. Almost all the cars.
I was going to say nearly every car lifting a wheel there.
Yeah, but it shows just how much they load up coming through that section of the track. Outside zone 4 looking good, getting right to the edge of the paint at the end of the zone. Good transition coming into outside zone 6. Yeah, I mean, overall, really good run. Yeah, where's it going to fall in? Is it fall into this kind of 87 trap that we've got going on right now, the 87 party?
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of drivers there. I was just taking a look at the computer and seeing how many there are. There is a whole bunch of drivers with an 87.
Now,
you looked at
yeah, I mean, looking through, remembering back, a lot of them, though, were kind of missing it on the style side of things.
Yeah, and I think a lot of drivers are also missing that dotted section coming up to in a 2. So I think that's quite a portion of the circuit we're going to lose. We're going to catch up with the judges in that break, as we say, between our first and second qualifying runs to see exactly what they're looking for on an 88.7, so there or thereabouts, and we're going to find out what it is they need to do to impress the judges and put themselves into the 90s. We go back on the line to Nasser Al-Habali from El Salvador.
Talking about impressive.
Very impressive, yeah. Now residing in Dubai. Nissan 400Z off the line, LS supercharged, 1,000 horsepower. Nasser Al-Habali looking very good in practice. Big flick to initiation. Habali, though, pushed himself wide, stands on the foot brake, pushes that car through 2 and 3 as he transitions now for out of 4 right to the edge of the circuit. As he opens up the throttle, you can hear that V8 scream as he comes past the grandstand, flicks it up towards the wall, rubs the carbon Kevlar along the wall. Habali on a flyer right now, on the wall again and across the line.
It's like he's been awakened this season.
This season, he seems to have just come back with a completely different mindset.
Yeah, I don't know what's changed, but he's just been so confident, but like relaxed. And you see him in the pits, and he's chilled out. He's not freaking out about stuff. He's not worried like he was before. But then he gets out on track, and he's like, "No, I'm here with the best. I deserve to be with the best." And he really is. He's driving with the best in the business, and every run feels very exciting. But yeah, Nasser, man, look at that! Look at pumping the handbrake. Good move on that too. I much rather see a driver kind of pump the handbrake as opposed to the big pull. It's a lot harder for the judges to see when you do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, look. I liked it.
Yeah, all the little tricks.
Yeah, all the little tricks there from Nasser Al-Habali, and yeah, you're nerding out, Jacob.
I am.
You're nerding out. Are you a big Nasser fan?
You know what? I'm very quickly becoming one.
Yeah, I have been for a while. I've been watching this guy progress from a national series champion to, pushing things to European level and now Drift Masters, and he's been doing a lot of traveling, a lot of driving. He went over to Poland and took part in the championship there last year, and he said he learned so much doing that championship in Poland that, he felt like it was time to come back to Drift Masters, and he said his line driving and everything's just improved. There we go, a 91 on the board for Nasser Al-Habali, and he will be smiling like his little profile picture. Up next, Jack Shanahan on the line before he leaves the line. Let's have a word with Jack Shanahan.
Coming to Mondello, we spent some time changing some stuff in the car and also fixing the gearbox, so the car now should be better than ever, to be honest. We had some other little issues that we had to figure out at the dyno, so we got Lloyd to take the car to the dyno during the week and got everything sorted, and now the car feels pretty sweet today, to be honest.
Well, it looked pretty sweet earlier on in practice, and it looked pretty sweet yesterday. Jack Shanahan, the man from Killavullen, The Toyota GT86 2JZ, 1,000 horsepower. Well, he's won here before. Can he win this weekend? He said the pressure is always on when we return home to Ireland in front of all of our adoring fans. You can see him in the grandstand supporting the jerseys as he flicks it in. Shanahan on big angle, making it work. Set on angle. He goes a little wide at 3, but holds onto it. The transition didn't make any sense from Shanahan as he opens up the throttle. This is a flyer of a run from Jack Shanahan as he puts it up towards the wall. Oh, that's absolutely beautiful from Shanahan. Second wall run coming up. Shanahan on a flyer across the line.
I had a lot of people ask me who I thought was going to top qualifying, and I would be lying if I said I didn't think it was Jack. He looked so good in practice.
He did.
And he's chill. His family's here. Everybody, some drivers get nervous when the family comes. For the Shanahans, they get more relaxed. They're like, I know, it's so good. It's so good. The transition, though, for me is the big one. I don't know how he did it. I thought maybe he put a wheel in the grass. Look at how quick that car comes around. Even in slow motion, it's quick. Comes over the hill, full compression, tire tucking. The stance boys are cheering for that. But yeah, as he comes through 3, I thought maybe he dipped a wheel on the grass and that's what caught it and pushed the car around, but it just snaps. And then, just on cruise control all the way through 4, transition in 5 looks great, and then out to the wall, and he's just grinding the back bumper on the wall. Like, what more do you want in a run?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. Take a look back as you guys watch along with us at home or here in attendance on the big screens, and you can see Shanahan's flawless run there. I love the slight dab of the handbrake.
Yeah.
Like, it's so quick. He's on and off. He sets the car, he dials on big angle, and then he knows he's on that real wide line outside zone 6. So look at that, a little tiny wobble, but look at that. That is flirting with perfection, Jacob.
And it's the fact that, like, he comes off the handbrake and it's just full wheel speed immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? No massaging, all the confidence, just there it is. That's everything I got.
Well, there we go. Scores in a 95.7 for Jack Shanahan as he sets the scoreboard alight, and that is unbelievable from the Irishman as he puts it where it needs to be. As we see another Irishman leaving the line, James Dean will be looking to top of the qualifying scores later on this afternoon, but we have a fair few drivers that would want to get themselves way up there, including this man, Juha Rittinen from Finland in this Toyota GR86 2JZ, 1,003 horsepower gearbox change between practice and qualifying for Rittinen. Said he finally broke a gearbox after all these years, and now out on circuit as Rittinen fires that car in. Good angle, good line, good speed as he puts it to the edge of the circuit. Good transition, look at that. Nice line, he's going to go way wide, holds onto it. How did Rittinen keep that on the circuit as he puts it right across the track, up onto the wall for the Finnish driver. Dials on big angle and over rotates.
Wow.
And that is very uncharacteristic of Juha Rittinen.
Yeah, you immediately just want to go, okay, what broke? Because
Yeah.
it's so rare to see him make a mistake, period, let alone something like that. So very stoic now. He came through the gate, looks good, nice and quick, going for that midline, gets the car transition back over, very smooth through here. Could have been a touch deeper on that initiation line. Comes out another good, quick transition from 3 to 4. And as you said, when he came into 4, I thought he was going off track. I thought that's all there was as we check that onboard as he comes through 3 one more time, down a gear. And yeah, I'm not sure what happened here through 6. He's on full lock.
Yeah, I wonder what happened there. I wonder if it was a little bit of overcommitment through some big angle. I'd ever watch the replay again as he fires it in towards the wall. And does come in pretty hot. Yeah, he carries too much angle.
Yeah.
There's no way he was saving it. I think the car got a little loose there. He's so deep up onto the wall. And will be a 0, and that's the 6th 0 dropping into competition so far as we move back on the line to the Northern Smoke Machine. Dwayne McKeever, Nissan 180SX. They're still driving the 2JZ James Dean built 180SX. 1,000 horsepower as he comes roaring through the gears and over the hill here at Mondello Park and puts that car where it needs to be. A little shy on that dyed white line, but keeps it clean. Dials on big angle. Another driver using that momentum to transition the car and flick the car to angle as he feels all of outside zone 4. Back up now, looking for the wall run. And McKeever on throttle super early into that zone, and such a fast run, lifting a wheel across the line.
I just love watching him drive. I do. He's so exciting. He's so fun. It's like you watch him drive, and you're immediately like, I would give anything to be able to handle a car the way that he does. It's just full throttle, full commitment everywhere he goes. I gotta figure out how they're getting the car transition through that section, because that's 3 drivers now, 2 of them being Irish, that have been able to flick the car over like that. It doesn't.
I think the way they're doing it, Jacob, is I think they're going so deep onto 3 that they're loading the car up, and then they're using that momentum to flick it to 4.
They're just like even adding a bit more angle.
Yeah, adding more angle as they go through 3 to load the car up. Look at this, so gripped up. Both front wheels almost
Almost
popped off the
wheelies
tarmac.
Almost wheelies the car.
Watch this as he comes through outside zone 6. Look at that, boom, boom, the front end popping off the tarmac.
So good to see him back on form. Yeah, Dwayne, I mean, when you talk about Irish drifting, it's so easy to focus on the Shanahans or James Dean, but like Dwayne has, he's been an inspiration to all of them to bring style.
He certainly
right?
has, yeah.
He's just such a fun driver to watch compete.
There we go, a 94.2 for Dwayne McKeever as another driver sets the scoreboard like a 19 on angle out of 20. So we see Peter getting strapped in to that A90 Supra. Fingers taped up there for Peter. You can see that? The 2
interesting.
fingers on the
I did
hand.
see it. It looked like he had 2 Band-Aids on in our earlier on. So hopefully nothing major.
No, hopefully he is all good to go. We go back on the line to Nicolas Bertans. Nick Nack, as he likes to be called, from Latvia. So he's got a big boy V8 underneath the bonnet. It makes 1100 horsepower in this carbon Kevlar BMW as he fires it in full angle, full pace, as this man has now got a reputation for being one of the fastest drivers on grid. Look how quick he is already outside zone 4 as Nick Nack puts it to outside zone 5. Looks for the wall, good job getting it to outside zone 6, keeps it away from the wall. Final outside zone comes up a little short.
Yeah, that last zone, I talked about it earlier. I think it's starting to come into play a little bit more with some of these scores where drivers just unwind it before they even get to 7. But yeah, for Nick Nack, a really good initiation catch, a little bit on the inside. But his qualifying's always been really, really good, but where he comes alive is in lead when it comes to tandem. He just walks people.
Yeah.
Just absolutely takes them and goes, okay, just try and keep up. But man, another calm driver. Started at 12 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's funny now that at one point in time you heard about a 15-year-old drifter and you were shocked.
Yeah.
And now it's that you have to be driving at 15.
It's the norm now.
You just have to be. That's to be competitive. It's crazy. But yeah, Nick Nack is a driver that if you followed international drifting, you've been waiting for the time that he got his full-time ride somewhere, and he's got it now and he's taking full advantage of it.
Yeah, as we see Nick Nack there fulfilling all of outside zone 6, putting the back end of that carbon Kevlar E92 BMW towards the wall.
Solid.
Nice job, yeah, good job.
Yeah, a little shallow in a few spots.
A couple of outside zone 3 came up a little short, and that final outside zone, he kind of almost shut it down before he got there. And that's a nice hat.
Yeah, that's a nice hat.
You would wear a hat like that?
100%.
Yeah, maybe it'll hook you up.
I was gifted an Irish one in Poland last year. I still have it to my office.
Oh, there we go. 86.7 for Nicolas Bertans as that score drops in. We go back on the line to a man that was on the podium at the last round. Mika Keski-Korpi from Finland in this BMW F22 Eurofighter S58 underneath the bonnet. 1,007 horsepower as he slams that car into gear. Very cool car, but collected. Good hair, Jacob.
Yeah, great
this
hair.
young man. And here we go as we run down and over the line. Nice initiation coming up as Keski-Korpi sets that car to angle. It's very good from Mika Keski-Korpi. And look at this, such a good line driver as well. Really come alive in 2026 and puts it into outside zone 4. Stands on the foot brake. Now starts to turn up the heat as he puts it to the wall for outside zone 6. This is beautiful from Mika Keski-Korpi. Final outside zone coming up and across the line.
Yeah, the hard part for him is, first time getting that podium spot, but now you got to back it up.
Yeah.
You can't lose that momentum. There's so much expectation on you now where you go, you're a podium driver. You can't lose that now, but that means it's a little bit of extra weight on every run.
strong in the camp. They were looking and feeling good earlier on today. So I even caught him having a little nap in his lorry.
It's a beautiful lorry.
It's a beautiful lorry. Yeah, we go. Score drops in a 94 from Mika Keski-Corbin. Not only does he back up that podium, he backs it up with an incredible qualifying run. Right, back down on the start line we go. Tomasin to a happy Paweł Korpolinski, the surgeon, as we like to call him, the man from Poland in this Nissan S14A 2JZ, 900 horsepower. He slams through the gears. And we call him the surgeon for one reason. That's because he's clinical as he puts it to the edge of the circuit, fulfills all the zones at the moment. Keski-Corbin on a flyer as he slams on the handbrake into outside zone 4, fulfills it. And looking good and clean as always, because Korpolinski puts it to the wall. Nice and tidy on that final outside zone and across the line.
Let you have the first one, but I wouldn't let you have the second.
Wouldn't let me have the. Yeah,
that's all good. Lots of Ks.
Too many Ks.
Too many Ks. Yeah, for Korpolinski.
Yeah, you did it yourself.
I had to think for a second. He's always going to be an incredible line driver. We can see that through all these zones. He's, to me, one of the first drivers that had that initiation almost perfect.
Yeah.
It looks so good. He collects everything. And as he's progressed, and we keep talking about how good he is as a line driver, and he's even said to me, he's like, yeah, but I want to be an angle driver too. And I'm like, you gotta throw down, you gotta take some risks. And he's starting to take more risks. He's throwing the car a little bit harder in every transition. He's getting closer to the wall where he needs to be. It's gonna take a bit of time though, because his driving style is clinical. It is very clean, it's smooth, it's everything that you want to chase. But sometimes to really win a lot of battles, you have to throw something a little bit wild. Same thing I expect when this comes up. The line score is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
And it always is.
It always is.
Paweł Korpolinski, and it's just the way he is. It's his style as well. And sometimes we've said it in the past. It really plays into his hands when it comes to qualifying, but not so much in battles because drivers know what they're going to expect to see from Korpolinski.
He's almost too easy to chase.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah.
Wow, 97.2 from Paweł Korpolinski as he sets the scoreboard alight. Style 21.5.
Yeah, getting there. 58.2 online though, almost perfect.
Wow, almost perfect. We're talking about perfect. There is Mr. Perfect on the line right now. The machine, James Dean, gets a thumbs up, lights the tyres on the Ford Mustang RTR. Comes off the line, 1100 horsepower. What can he do? And he said he'd love nothing more than to put the Mustang on the podium here at Ireland. Another driver using angle on initiation to get that car where it needs to be. And this is a man that's won at this track more than anybody else. And what can Dean do as he puts it to outside zone 5, fires it towards the wall? It's inch perfect from James Dean as he looks for the final outside zone and across the line for James Dean.
Oh, he's got a big score to beat with a 97.2, but we'll have to see if he can do it on this one. Comes out of the blocks, lights the tires up, love it. You know he's pumped. He wants to do this. Big feint out, huge weight transfer on an already massive car. And these Mustangs, you have to be on throttle. That's all that they want to do. You can tell. He comes off throttle and that car almost wants to over-rotate immediately. You have to keep the rear wheel spinning or it's just going to keep sliding. But yeah, James has got this pony broken in for sure. It's great to see him come to terms with this vehicle. They are notorious for being very difficult to drive, but when you get it figured out, they're incredibly rewarding. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. I mean, the crowd loves to see it too. As soon as he turns that car on, you can hear the crowd just, everybody starts running.
Yeah, it's such an unmistakable sound when you hear the rumble from that V8 underneath the bonnet of that Mustang. And James Dean, I think he shocked everyone there with that qualifying run. The weight transfer on initiation was just phenomenal. 90 degrees on initiation, and it looks absolutely stunning in his brand new 2026 livery.
Yeah, love it. Love the reflection in it. It's great.
Yeah, I just love everything about it. Such a cool car and so good to see here in Ireland, over the hill at Mondello Park. And he said that it was a proud moment last year when he debuted the car here and drove that Mustang for the first time at Mondello. But he said that was good, but what would be better would be putting it on the top step of the podium.
Yeah, last year definitely didn't go the way he wanted it to, but he's a very different driver with a very different setup car, and see how it all comes together for him. 97.2 is what he's looking to beat.
Yeah, certainly is. What can he do right now as the Irish flag flies? It's a 95.7 for James Dean.
So we are hearing that Korpelinski's score was actually incorrect, and that is why James is up on top. So it's a 95.7 is our top score. He's actually tied with Jack Shanahan right now.
Shanahan at the moment. Well, before we send Peter off the line, here's a quote.
I love the atmosphere in Ireland. I love the people in Ireland, and there is a lot of fans from Poland also. The track looks like it suits me, but I don't want to jinx it again, so we will see. The atmosphere is great, people are great.
Well, here we go. On the line is Peter Więcek, the man from Poland, the Supra Mark V, a brand new chassis, 2JZ, 1,000 horsepower. He said he's got it figured out. He loves the Irish fans. He'd love nothing more than to stick this incredible Supra on the top of qualifying as he fires that car in. Big angle, puts it right to the edge of the circuit. Another snappy, quick transition as he gets it into outside zone 4, stands on the throttle, flicks the car back across the circuit once again, looks for the wall. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. Więcek, the wheel is on the white line, the bumper's on the wall, and he's across the line.
Well, here in Ireland, there's two stories. The win either goes to an Irishman or to Piotr Więcek, and that's kind of the way it's been in recent history, and he's picking up where he left off. It's another phenomenal run, another driver finding a way to what looks like make an impossible transition as these cars really loading up. That great job through the first part of this track. Big transition. I know the team worked really hard to get to get this setup very dialed in with this car, and it's there. They've given him a vehicle that's very easy to drive, and it just allows him to show how dominant of a pilot he really is.
He certainly is. This man is an unbelievable pilot behind the wheel of the Supra, and again, we say it very often that props to the team down there. Because they've done countless hours of work and development in the Supra, and it's this year really starting to pay off for Peter because the car has been absolutely on point. And you can see him comfortable in the car as well. He just looks like he's going for that Saturday afternoon drive, as you like to say, Jacob. And,
but almost no corrections behind the wheel.
No, there we go. A 91.5 for the Polishman. Puts himself up there in the order. So drops himself into 8th place at the moment as we move it back to the start line, to the man that's currently leading the championship, a man that has, again, won countless trophies here in Ireland, stood on the top step of the podium and cemented his championship here in Ireland. It is, of course, the one and only Conor Shanahan in that Toyota GT86 2JZ, 950 horsepower. Shanahan stares down the barrel of the gun, looking for that initiation on top of the hill as he fires through the gears. Shanahan goes for a big flick to initiation, big angle from Shanahan as he puts a foot to the foot brake and foot on the accelerator at the same time, gets that car transitioned to outside zone 4, stands on it. As Shanahan lights up the scoreboard at the moment, flicks that car to outside zone 5, looks for the wall, big wall run, big angle deep into outside zone 6 as Shanahan looks for the final zone and across the line.
Running the ragged edge of it, all of it. Mechanical, the track, everything. When he was on that last zone, I mean, that car was hopping. Mom, not even able to take a look at the rest of the run. Just, yeah, I get it. It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking for everybody here. It's nerve-wracking for us watching it. Big initiation, collecting all those zones. Gets the car fed out. Look at the front wheels, just no correction through there.
Wow.
There he goes, leads that car out, gets out to outside zone 3, and then it just set it and forget it for the rest of this run. Through 4, great line coming through there. Doesn't have to make big corrections throughout. Just the front wheel is like on the
arc.
I know, it's really fantastic to see. And through here, just a quick touch of the left foot brake to keep that car coming through 6. But yeah, I mean, right now, our top 2 spots, our top 3 spots are all Irish drivers.
Yeah.
Is it going to be our top 4 are all Irish drivers? James Dean, 95.7, Jack Shanahan, 95.7, and then Dwayne McKeever, the 94.2. Where does Conor Shanahan fit into that equation?
That is absolutely
perfect.
That is art.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, chef's kiss right there for Shanahan. Look at him inside the car, absolutely dialed in, focused into the zone. And as we say, these Irish drivers know this track like the back of their hand. And as we always say, they're not trying to learn the track, they're just trying to finesse it, trying to do exactly what the judges were asking for in that driver's briefing on Friday morning as the flag flies in the grandstand and we see the Shanahan's jerseys worn by a lot of adoring fans. But what is the score going to be as we await for it to drop in for Conor Shanahan, our championship leader? Score looks like it could be dropping in. It's a 97.5.
Wow.
A 97.5 for Conor Shanahan as 4 Irish drivers sit in the top 4 of qualifying. That was electric, and there we go. He's welcomed back into the paddock by his brother and teammate Jag Shanahan, and a quick fist bump and a quick well done, buddy. And look at that, the smile on the face for Shanahan. You see what it means to him, fighting for the championship, and he would love nothing more than to take qualifying today and stand on the top step tomorrow. He looks on form.
Yeah, I can't imagine what this means to the family, to the crowd, to the community, to the country. This is just so massive.
Right,
And
look at this. Now he's giving information back to Jack about the circuit. And here we go. This is how qualifying sits at the moment. Shanahan takes top step. Dean in third. Jack Shanahan in third. Dwayne McKeever in fourth. And Mika Geske will be in fifth. And there is Pavel Kopelinski's score. It's a 92.2. So apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for that miscommunication, that wrong score that pops up on your screen. It will be a 92.2 for Pavel Kopelinski. Once again, apologies from us here at Drift Masters for that. But Pavel Kopelinski, nevertheless, doing a very good job there on that first qualifying run. And as we wheel him down, you can see Viensek there in ninth.
I know, yeah, big one.
But I mean, to take away from that, 12 drivers with a 90.
Yeah, it gives you an idea of where that threshold is going to be for the rest of this. And yeah, I mean, Nasser 10th, rounding at that top 10. Connor Falvey back in 18th. I mean, we'll see. Dylan Garvey 24th. I'd like to see him climb up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Talking about those, obviously the Irish drivers, but it's a big mix-up, and we're only halfway through. We still got to do it again.
I kind of want to see where the cutoff is. I want to see what the cutoff score is as our next screen is going to pop over, and we're going to see that cutoff. So there we go. Dave Egan at the moment is on the drop zone with a 71.5. You can see a lot of drivers down there. Alan Hines, interestingly enough, with an 80.5 in 27th place. So that score is going to ramp up as we get through qualifying. And Stephen McConnell, one of our wildcard drivers, in there as well. So looking good, looking steady with a 72.5. These are the guys that are out at the moment. Most of our wildcard drivers, Clint Van Oort, Jarko Euler, Correa, Juha Rittinen, all unable to score a score in qualifying. Konstantin Sharenko as well, Enver Haskasap and Callum Coogan, the man from our Drift Pursuit, our Red Bull Drift Pursuit. So before we move on over to our second runs of qualifying, I'm going to have a quick chat with our head judge over there, David Callas. David Callas, you must be feeling good spirits today. Some very, very good driving, some incredible qualifying runs. Shanahan, though, flawless.
It was not completely flawless, however, it was really, really good. He was able to provide the best line overall today. He was able to fulfill all the zones as we were requesting. There was like some very tiny hiccup at outer zone 5 here, where he was going slightly over the line. However, all the other zones were exactly in the green part of the zone, which we were requesting through the in the briefing. He was, though, not having the best angle, but he was like very close to that. It was very precise. The fluidity was very good. He was decelerating exactly in the places where we were asking for. So he can still like get a little bit better score, but it is very, very close to that best run.
Yeah, some incredible scores. The driving today, David, has just been flawless from all of our drivers. We must apologise for that wrong score put in there for Pavel Kopelinski, and we understand that was just a wrong input there from...
Yes, what happened, the system unfortunately allowed to put incorrect score for the initiation, where Pavel was getting for initiation 3.5 points. However, the system put it 8.5 points, which is not possible. That's why you also on your screens were able to see that suddenly the score for the style was higher than the 20 points which are allocated for that part. So we needed to recheck that, confirm that there was an incorrect score for the initiation. We repaired it, and now it is all fine.
Thank you very much, David. Good to hear from you, and good to see you in good spirits as well. We're going to fire it down to the paddock, to our queen. Becky Evans is down there behind the scenes. Becky.
Yeah, so I managed to grab Connor as he came out the car there. Connor, 97.5 on the board. That is the result that you wanted to see for your first run this weekend. But we're at Mondello. Can you tell us what Mondello means to you?
Yeah, home sweet home. This is where all the dreams started, sitting in that grandstand as, you know, an 8-9-year-old kid watching Jack, James, Dwayne come through the ranks and thinking to myself, someday maybe I can be one of those guys. And yeah, it's been a cool journey to here. So to always come back for Drift Masters is quite special, and especially with it being Red Bull Drift Pursuit for Red Bull Ireland as well. lot of things connected this weekend, but really enjoying it. And yeah, that was a good way to start the first competition run on the track this weekend.
Well, when I saw you get out of the car, I said kind of well done, and then you said, geez, that was a bit of a shaky one there. What's that about?
Yeah, I just feel like I was watching the live stream, everyone was going big, you know, and me and Jack practiced a lot in practice at the this last session. We were aiming for the big wow factor run. We were both pushing each other to the limit, you know, trying to pull off the big gangster entry in this track really gets rewarded. So I seen Jack go for it, and I said, okay, now I got the game plan, I have to send it as well. And I actually felt like I sent it a little bit too much, and in the car I wasn't sure how good I was at outer zone 3. Obviously it wasn't that much of a deduction, but it's quite a nice thing to know that if I pull it off and get outer zone 3 perfect, we could be pretty close to 100 points. So great start. There's no easy runs in this championship anymore. It's full tilt from the get-go, and makes it more exciting. The nerves for sure were creeping in.
Brilliant, Connor. Well, we'll see you in your second run. I'm sure we're expecting something big from you. Guys, back up to you.
Thank you very much, Becky, and well done, Connor, for that incredible qualifying run. We see what it means to that driver, and yeah, and him shouting out those Red Bull Drift Pursuit drivers once again. Red Bull Drift Masters round here this weekend in Mondello Park, and we've seen some incredible action. I know me and you enjoyed spending a little bit of time over there, Jacob, watching those young guys, those young Irish drivers go head-to-head in that Red Bull Drift Pursuit. It was real good fun and interesting. You can see what it means there to the drift fans, but we need to keep the action going, Jacob. There's no sitting, there's no time for rest here at Drift Masters. We're back on the line with our first wildcard driver. It will be Stephen McConnell at 72.5. Sees him in 31st place at the moment in qualifying. Dave Egan, don't forget, is on that drop zone with a 71.5. Expect that to start going up now, start to rocket as those first qualifying nerves for most of these drivers are out of the way. McConnell off the line in this 2JZ Nissan S13, 780 horsepower. What can he do as he puts it where it needs to be at the moment, nice and deep on outside zone 3. Scrubs a little speed, and you can see what it means. Oh, and he goes wide, understeers, big clutch kick, gets himself back into it. The judges won't like that, though, as he now flicks it towards the wall. McConnell flexes the back end, that car wheel over once again. Oh, it looks like he has an issue with the car, potentially. We see that yesterday, and he does shut it down before the line, and I'm going to assume, Jacob, that the judges will say that's unchaseable.
Yeah, I believe you're going to be correct on that one, and it's going to be tough. I mean, he's right near the bubble. I don't expect it to still hold on that, so he's going to be waiting on bated breath throughout this entire thing, and there it is. Yeah, that's going to be a 0 on that run. So for Steve McConnell, he's got to sit there and just hope that none of these other drivers make a big improvement.
Yeah, certainly so. I can't see that happening, to be honest with you. So there we go. We're moving things along. Dylan Garvey, an 81.7. He was untested for quite a while. Currently sits up the order in 24th place. So he will want to improve on that. He did say to me yesterday he wants a big score as he comes off the line. This brand new build for the Garvey family through the gears. Dylan Garvey looking absolutely dead focused. Slams that car to angle on initiation. And maybe took some words of wisdom from some of the rest of the Irish drivers and fires that car on angle. This is very good from Dylan Garvey as he puts it wide on outside zone 4, stands on the accelerator, wakes up that 2JZ, 850 horsepower, screams as he flicks it to the wall, flexes the back end as Garvey sheds some body panels, but he's not worried about that. He's looking for a big score and across the line.
Yeah, it was tidy for a lot of it, and then it got real exciting there near the end. So it was good. The upside with qualifying this a little bit earlier is you get to watch a lot of it. You get to really see as everybody puts down different things, and then you're up. That's it. You just go for it. And I do think he made a lot of corrections even on initiation. It looks a lot stronger, a lot more committed, and I think there's some confidence as well. Sitting in 24th, you're not in a amazing spot, but you're not in a bad spot either.
No.
You're not fighting to get into the show. You're in it, and you got a little bit of buffer. So why not go big? Why not try something? Get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And we'll have to see if he's able to increase that score in 81.7 on the first run. Currently in 24th. Once again, not an amazing spot, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. But there's a fair bit of zeros. That's where my head's at.
I expect a lot of these guys to come out swinging for the second qualifying runs, and we've seen it before at Drift Masters, where you assume you know the cut-off, and then by the end of qualifying, the cut-off is nowhere near where you would assume. And I expect a lot of these drivers now to start figuring out this track, especially watching the thick end of the grid, as we like to call it, the sharp end of the grid. These guys are learning from the likes of Jack and Connor Shanahan and James Dean, throwing those cars at big angle. As our Drift fans give a wave to our cameraman down there, and you can see more work going down on Enver Haskasap's car. The team there running around trying to get it worked down. You can see underneath the car there, Dwayne McKeever's mechanic getting involved, trying to make sure that car is 100% for Enver Haskasap to throw down. As we await the score for Dylan Garvey to drop in, it's going to be not an improvement.
No,
so he
okay.
stays where he is. So judges not liking it as much. Some mistakes creeping in maybe for Dylan Garvey. Stays where he is in 24th place. It's going to be a nervous wait as we drop down into the first of our Red Bull Drift Pursuit drivers. It's going to be Callum Coogan from Ireland at BMW E36, 3-litre M3 engine underneath the bonnet, 280 horsepower, as we mentioned earlier on, one of the lowest horsepower cars I think we've ever seen at Drift Masters, as he absolutely fires that car in third gear, giving everything he can. A little closer to the dotted white line this time is where he went wrong. Last time he goes wide though, knocks down the cone but stays in it. As Callum Coogan now puts that car around outside zone 4, working the clutch pedal as much as the accelerator in these zones, and a little nervous, a little tentative entry as he fires that car up to the wall. Big clutch kick once again. You can see that car struggling as he gets it across the line.
Yeah, big part on his last run was he actually didn't get the car initiated in time.
No.
And that's where that incomplete came from. So we'll see here, there is a cutoff line. There is a spot where he's got to get the car sideways. We'll see, he's doing his best, but he just gets the car initiated. So I'm thinking this one's going to end up scoring. It's not amazing. He's got a fair bit of momentum, all things considered. He gets that car out pretty wide.
I think that's the key with low horsepower cars. You keep that momentum going.
You
So
have
from
to.
initiation, you have to keep the
Yeah.
momentum. As soon as you scrub any kind of speed, and we see it on outside zone 6, he'd scrub that speed. Trying to build it back up again isn't easy in a naturally aspirated 6-cylinder BMW engine. You know, we're so accustomed to seeing 1,000 horsepower cars. They stand on the accelerator, the nitrous comes on, the turbo comes on boost, and before you know it, 1,000 horsepower is being shred through the rear wheels.
Yeah, and they just go.
Yeah.
They just take off like a rocket. And I mean, for this thing, you're basically just trying to keep it on rev limiter the whole time. You're clutch kicking. I don't even know if you could left foot brake.
Well, there we go, a 40.5. It's an absolute sterling effort from our Red Bull Drift
Yeah.
Pursuit driver, Callum Coogan, and unfortunately won't make it into the big show. But nevertheless, the opportunity for him to throw down on a big stage is second to none. We go back on the line to Jakub Shishak. This is what happened to him for Drift Pursuit. This is how he got himself into the show, finished third place on the podium.
Yeah, had a pretty good time out there, and I mean, he was doing quite well. I did catch a little bit of one of his runs, and was pretty impressive.
Yeah, and this is how it all went down for him at Red Bull Drift Pursuit. As you can see, some beautiful slow-mo shots, and looking good out there. Didn't do a bad job in his first qualifying run either, 66.5, so definitely want to improve. And working his way around that custom circuit. It's so cool, that track.
Yeah.
Me and you are so desperate to get out there and have a no one would lend us a car,
Do you
as
think
always.
Maybe they'll leave it set up tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
and we
night?
can just go up.
We can come
Not
back here
the
tomorrow
rentals.
evening. Yeah. There we go, off the line for Jakub Shishak as he comes through the gears in this incredible Nissan S14.92 JZ, 900 horsepower, stands on the throttle, very deep on inner 2 as he fires that car now for outside zone 4, looking to improve himself, get himself way up the order. Good job on outside zone 4 as he flicks that car towards the wall. Nice job there as well. Little dab of the handbrake, sets himself up beautifully for that second wall run. Final outside zone coming up and across the line.
Here we go. A couple more jitters out of the way. 66.5 on that first one. We're going to see how this ends up stacking on it. The initiation for me was just the spot where, you know, just doesn't get the car quite flicked out. He ends up going pretty deep through a couple of these zones, which is fantastic to see, but same thing, just such a big change for Jakub to go, you know, from that little parking lot all the way over here, and you got to perform. You
Yeah,
gotta
you
throw
certainly
down.
have, yeah. And,
We don't change the track. Doesn't matter what your experience is. Same track.
No, we can't change the track for your experience or your car power, unfortunately. We can't be lenient either. Everybody's
No.
judged fairly at Drift Masters in the same way, so you can see that Jakub doing a good job, though. And he'll trying to claw himself into the main show. At the moment, that cutoff still sits at 71.5. And we'll see if he can get it.
We're sitting on 6 incompletes right now as well.
Yeah, I was just looking at that, Jacob, myself. And
Yeah.
as we mentioned earlier, on some big names, you are written in one of them.
Yeah, it's a big one. I expect him to bump up pretty high, so it's going to put some of our bubble drivers in a awkward position.
Well, there we go, score drops in. It will be a 73, so puts himself in the 31st place at the moment. It will be a nervous wait, as we say. 6 of our top-end pro drivers out of competition. Can they get themselves a spot in the show as we go back on the line to Dylan Wilson? 62.7, BMW E92, 2JZ, 650 horsepower. Laser focused again. So off the line, through the gears. As he flicks that car from left to right, nice initiation, big angle. Can he keep a hold of it? No, car wants to understeer a little bit. Cigar more angle on it once again. A correction after initiation. Gets himself into outside zone 4 though. Stands on the accelerator, looks for 5, and that flick towards the wall was Dylan Wilson. Gets himself up to the wall, right to the edge of the circuit, stands on the throttle again. The final outside zone awaits, and he gets the job done across the line.
That was really clean.
That was very clean.
It was very, very clean run as he...
Doesn't want to stop drifting.
No,
either.
I wouldn't either.
Just keep going.
Yep, might as well. Paid for the whole tire, going to use all of it. Yeah, off initiation looks good. It was maybe a little bit slower, a little bit more hesitant. It's got to push that car just a bit harder to get out to 2, but 3 looking dialed. Transition out to 4 is good. As you can see, just not a big flick. And he's got to not drive out of it, but you do pull some angle out, push that car a bit more forward, but same thing, it's kind of how you want to massage that car out. We'd like to see full commitment all the way through, but look at outside zone 4. It's got it all the way out to the edge of the line. 5 looking good. Transitions right at the wall when he gets into 6. So yeah, I mean, all things considered, this is it's pretty dialed up. I'd be happy with it for sure. I think a lot of drivers would. Look at this on 6. He's got that right outside tire all the way out, comes out of the zone just a hair early, and then holds the angle through 7. I think, once again, I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, I think it's all about holding the angle from 6 to 7 as well, whereas here a lot of drivers dial the angle out.
Yeah.
Especially where the track is mega gripped up there because it's a crossover between initiation and the final part of the circuit. So you have a lot of rubber in that one particular part of the track.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure it feels a little bit strange as well because you're going to kind of catch some of that rubber and then shoot off onto the rest of the track where maybe there isn't quite as much laid down.
So scores dropping in from our judges for Dylan Wilson, and he gets himself a 78.2, so he does get himself into the show in a moment, into 28th position. It will be a nervous wait.
Yeah, the bottom half of the bracket is becoming a kind of a spicy spot.
It certainly is. There's a bit of a fight going on down there to see who can get themselves into the show. We go back on the line to Alex Butler, that BMW 46 M50 Turbo from Ireland, working through the gears. Look at this young man pedaling that car, flicks it across the track. Those on big angles. This is nice from Alex Butler at the moment. Good commitment into outside zone 3. A little dab of the handbrake, sets himself up nicely for outside zone 4. Stands on the throttle, works his way around the outside zone now. Looks for the wall run as he flicks that BMW to it. Just flexes the back end of BMW on the wall. Fulfills all of the zone. This is absolutely beautiful from Alex Butler across the line. Even throws in a 360.
I did get worried with that in-car for a moment because you saw him kind of lift off for a second and look down. Young lad, same thing, just go.
Just go.
I would tell my kid the same thing. Just, hey,
for a lot of these guys, and we've seen drivers dropping out. Stephen McConnell, unfortunately, dropping out of qualifying. Dave Egan out of the show at the moment. As that man has bought binoculars.
Yeah, good move.
Good move. You see who's on the start line. Get a heads up before anyone else.
I mean, why not?
Why
As long-
not?
I draw the line at telescope.
But there we go, a 74.2 puts him on the drop zone, and I think that's going to be a very nervous wait for Konstantin as we move things along. Back on the line, Enver Haskasab, before we kick off his qualifying run, going to take a look back at what happened and why he sits on a 0 at the moment, and the team getting that car repaired. But this is what happened on his first qualifying run. If you're only just joining us, fires that car in, the car just washed clear off track with a debeaded rear tyre, and boom, puts him into a big spin, into the washing machine, as we like to say.
Yeah, absolutely launched the camera off the roof, and thankfully, as far as I know, he's okay to come back and drive. Look at that, though.
Yeah, the G-forces in that car must have been his. Yeah, as Enver Haskasab went off to see the medical crew, and they said that he's all fit and healthy and well and ready to race. The team got the car ready. He slams that car into gear, and he's angry right now.
I would be.
Here's Enver Haskasab, the man from Turkey, 2JZ, Nissan Silvia S15, 1,000 horsepower as he flicks that car in, a little bit more confidence this time, holds on to it as the front bumper tries to chew the track, but now he makes it in to outside zone 4. He stands on the accelerator as 1,000 horsepower from that 2JZ gets unleashed, gets himself into 6, and this is looking clean and tidy for Enver Haskasab. The final outside zone, he flicks the angle at it and across the line.
Yeah, great job getting back out there. I mean, you know, getting back on the horse.
Yeah.
You get kicked off, you jump back on. It's a tough spot. I'm sure coming over that hill, you're gonna have a bit of concern. You're gonna be a little bit hesitant, but you didn't really see it. Look at this. It's that car. It's that big weight transfer, getting that moving over, and you can see the heat coming off the track.
I was
I know
just
it's a
gonna
strange
say.
thing to say in Ireland, but it's getting warm out there.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
That it's not always warm out there, but it is. It can be a big thing for track conditions as well. 5C can make a big difference in how the track feels to drivers. So if we're starting to increase that, it's going to make a big difference. But take a look at this initiation. So good weight transfer come over. Has to grab. It looks like he grabs handbrake just for a second, but is able to get out there and now gets past the ghost of where that car decided to go off-roading a little bit earlier on. Seems like they got a bit more tire pressure in it as well.
Yeah.
Obviously not catching that DB that caused the incident initially. Out to 4, doing a good job through here, right on throttle, a bit more of a midline approach to that section. You can look over and see yourself on the big screen. Just noticed that. And then coming out to 6, good transition through there. Really, really good line to the edge of 6. And then out to 7. So we'll see. It's going to be a tough spot to get into our top 32 right now, but find out.
Yeah, and 80 drops on to the board, and 8.7 drops into the board for Enver Haskasab, 28th place at the moment. But as we say, with a few of our top-end drivers sitting out of competition, it will be a nervous wait for Enver Haskasab, and a man that currently sits on the drop zone, ladies and gentlemen, Karim Hani from Egypt. Big Karim sits with a 76.7, the G87 BMW M2 2JZ, 900 horsepower as he shifts through the gears and flicks that car to angle. Needs a big score under his belt here, does Karim Hani, as he absolutely fires through the first 3 zones and sets himself up on the handbrake very early, though, almost on the handbrake through the transition from Karim Hani. Looks for outside zone 5, flicks it up towards the wall. It's Karim Hani, puts that car right to the edge of the circuit, wheel in the zone, bumper towards the wall, looks for the final zone across the line.
A very similar transition between 3 and 4 that we saw in our previous run, where he kind of gets it done really, really early, grabs a bunch of handbrake to get the car to float out. But I do like his initiation on this. It was a lot better, a lot more sorted, catches a bit more on inside zone 2. So great work there, as we can see him really loading this car up on initiation. Such a pretty shot, and there's that handbrake pull. I know the judges don't mind a little bit of it. It seems a bit more drastic when you're doing it on with 1,000 frames per second, but through 3 and through 4, yeah, he really gets the thing done.
He was fighting that there through initiation. Look at the work he's doing in the car as well. Down a gear, on the handbrake, big handbrake pull as well.
Yeah, it's a long travel.
But look, roughly, if we've been told, roughly 160 kilometers an hour on initiation.
Okay. Yeah, it's just, I mean,
that's what I've been told. Now, there's somebody might be calling my bluff.
Could be.
I'm not good with the.
You've had your leg pulled as well, sir. It seems I just mean like most of the time when a driver sets up a handbrake, you're not pulling it all the way back to the stops.
Yeah.
And he does. He's got it all the way back to the stops. It might need that. It needs to be bled. That could be part of some of what's going on in
Maybe
in the
you need to
cockpit
go
of the
work
car.
for the team.
It's things I notice. I mean, listen, a lot of the drivers, like, they're only pulling it back, like 15 centimeters, 20 centimeters. He's all the way back to it.
Yeah, when 81.7 drops in for Kareem Harney on that second qualifying run, he still is in the show, moves himself away from the danger zone at the moment. Is it enough, though, as Kareem Harney jumps into a tied 24th place with this man, Timo Sunma, who have both the same scores. We'll have to see what Timo Sunma can do on that second qualifying run. The man from Finland in this BMW M2 M50 Turbo, 880 horsepower as he flicks the car to angle. Goes a little wide there on that dotted white line. Flicks the car to outside zone 4. Nicer line this time. He went very deep last time. He keeps it clean. He stands on the accelerator. Looks for the transition and flicks it towards the wall. Sunma, big flick towards the wall. Stands on the throttle. Putting some flair at this one as Sunma puts it to the final outside zone. It's job done.
Big flick looked good.
Yeah, I like that.
It just really, really looked sorted. It means that he wasn't quite all the way in the zone through the first part of it, but the rest of it looked absolutely excellent. So here we go on that initiation, that slow-mo, just coming over that second ridge. So there is two. Ooh, pick up the back
wow,
wheel.
picked up the back wheel.
That's a new one.
Haven't seen that before.
No. I mean, we've never had camera angles like this before. So misses a bit of that blend line and that second zone. Through 3, looking pretty good. Once he gets into 4, though, I mean, it's just business as usual.
And that car was on 2 wheels going over the...
You're right. It was on
2 wheels going over the initiation.
Not quite a wheelie, it's a side wheelie.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what
crazy.
you call it, but yeah. Through 4, though, comes out of it just a touch early and then swings back out, makes it look good. But this transition right here, not quite to the wall.
No, I like what he did with it, and I like the fact that he didn't slow the car down a whole bunch. But for me, there was outside zone 3 was very shallow, and I don't think the first half of the run was as nice.
I see we've gotten to nitpick hour.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's fine. What we need to
the
do.
judges liked it, that's for sure. An 89.2 puts Timo Sunma up there into 13th place. We dropped down out of qualifying at the moment. 34th place for George Christoforou. This man kind of come out and wowed us a little bit for that first qualifying run, but not enough now to keep himself into the show. He needs to do more than a 74.2 to get himself into the show. That drop zone now a 78. So what can George Christoforou do? The man from Cyprus fires that car in. This is in a 2. Gets himself back on that qualifying line though as he opens up the throttle, puts the rear wheel towards the edge of the circuit here in Mondello Park. Flicks the car up into the wall. Just avoids the tail lights, but it's very shallow and outside zone 6. Almost triangulates that zone and across the line.
I think the word we're looking for on this one's going to be scrappy.
Yeah.
That's usually our go-to when it's like, it just never really came together. It never kind of became the run that they were more or less hoping for, which is not.
We can have this conversation later.
Listen, I think the Irish fans, they're all
They
right
get
with the
it,
nerd.
yeah,
they're
they
all
get
right
it.
with the nerd.
They get it, they get it, yeah.
They're teaching us stuff all the time.
They certainly are. Here we go. Score drops in for George Christopher. It's going to be a 79 dead. Puts him in 31st position at the moment. So a nervous wait for him. A man up on the line now, though. Let's set the scoreboard alight and kind of wowed us with that first qualifying run. Is this man from Hungary, Kevin Pascolti. This Toyota GR862 JZ. Sits on the line. Very comfortable at the moment in 11th position. So what will he do on the second run with that big run under his belt in that first qualifying run? Big flick to angle for Kevin Pascolti. Will he try and back it up with another 90-point run as he goes a little shallow on outside zone 3. Now gets himself into 4, stands on that throttle, opens it up. There's a really good line there for outside zone 4 and 5 as he sticks it towards the wall. Very clean once again from the Hungarian driver as he puts it to the final outside zone across the line.
It feels weird calling him a dark horse, but it might be this weekend. I mean, came out absolutely swinging on 90.7 on that first run, and this one feels very similar. Feels very similar. The way he's able to get to the edge of the track on a lot of these zones, maybe just that blend line's going to catch it, but check out zone 2. He's right there on the edge.
Look,
okay, I
misses
missed
zone
that.
3, yeah.
I missed that on the first one. Oh, side skirt. That's active arrow. Is that allowed? Is that in the rule books?
I'm not sure. I'm not going to check the rule book.
No. It's just not one we're going to open today. But all the outside zones were looking good. Outside of zone 3, that was the one where didn't quite go to sorts there. We can see what the judges are looking for in the replay. And unfortunately for Kim Pascolti, it is zone 3 that they're really dialing into to figure out what the points are going to be like there. But everything else, man, it's looking good.
Yeah, it does look very good. Now, to me, apart from that small mistake on outside zone 3, Kevin Pascolti looks comfortable.
Yeah.
He looks very consistent. And we've said about it before, the consistency in some of these drivers is what will get you up there in the order. And we know that Lady Luck plays a little bit into tomorrow as well in our top 32, and an 89.7 almost backs up another 90. So again, a consistent drive from Kevin Pascolti could be dangerous tomorrow when we get him into the battles. As the door slams shut on the A90 Super of Dave Egan, the man from the homeland himself. 2JZ, 925 horsepower. This drift game's on the door as he lights off the tyres off the line and slams through the gears as Dave Egan looks to get himself into the show. Currently down in 37th. What can he do? He goes wide on that dotted line, puts a wheel up onto the curb, but keeps it clean this time on outside zone 3. Fires it in to outside zone 4, stands on the accelerator. Very clean, very deep on outside zone 4 as Egan now tries to get the rest of the circuit connected. The dots on the handbrake, on the foot brake, onto the clutch and the accelerator as he fires for that final outside zone across the line.
He went for it.
He did.
100% went for it. That's what he needed to do, though. I mean, I'm not sure if anybody told him. Well, I mean, knowing who his spotter is, he definitely told him, Dave, you're out of the show. Do better.
Yeah.
That's probably what that call was. But he got to the edge of the track pretty much everywhere. Outside of that initiation line, I'm very, very impressed with what he just laid down there. 1, super solid. You're right out there. Maybe a bit too much inside through 2, but 3 and 4 look good.
Yeah, I think 2 and 3 maybe. I think he might have just caught the outside edge of outside zone 3. I don't know. Look at it from that angle.
2, he's very much on the inside.
We're gonna see it here. Maybe. Yeah. I know how much it hurts the score when you kind of lose 3 because you're not on the line that the judges are asking you for, and they want you to go super wide on 3 to encourage a nice chase on initiation. So
fair enough.
Rest of the run though, really good. I love this from Dave. Slowed the car back on the big clutch kick for me. Outside zone 6. Look at this, bam, straight on throttle. There's no messing around. It was perfectly timed. He let the Supra get right to the edge of the circuit, onto the wall, and even 7, right to the edge of the circuit. Even just tickled the wheel onto the edge of the track.
It's right on the rumble strips there. It's right on the very ragged edge of the track. Not lifting the tire a ton, just a little bit. Just smoke coming out of every orifice on that car, though. Holy.
Yep, tyres are getting shredded here this weekend at Red Bull Drift Masters Round 3 Mondello Park, as we've got somebody biting their nails.
That's a real nail biter, yeah.
There's nerves. They want to see their home hero get in as a qualifier. Can he do it? 81 on the board for Dave Egan as a big cheer erupts from the grandstand. 27th place at the moment.
3-0 still to come.
So it could be a nervous wait for Dave Egan. Can he get himself into the show? As we go back on the line to Jarkko Gula, another man sitting with a 0, one of the guys that could push Egan down the order, and we know this Finnish driver has what it takes to get himself way up there in qualifying. The third chaser, JZX100, comes off the line. The 2JZ singing as he flicks it to angle. Jarkko Jula, little left foot brake as he pushes himself deep into outside zone 3. Good transition for 4 as Jula now stands on the throttle, unleashes 900 horsepower towards the tarmac of Mondello Park and flicks it. When he flicks the back end of the chaser, he just tickles the bumper along the wall as Jarkko Jula from Finland puts it onto the wall and across the line.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, great way to come out after an incomplete. Lots of confidence in that run. I was expecting a wall tap, though. There's so much rear end on that car, it's almost impossible not to, but decent job there through the blend line. Through 2, things look good. 3, all the way out there. I guess it depends if we're talking about wheel or bumper, but coming through 4, looking good. More of a midline. So as we start to dissect this a little bit more, I would say it's a slightly hesitant run, which I mean, I get when you're sitting on an incomplete because you don't want a double zero.
No, exactly that.
But yeah, I mean, considering what everybody else is looking like and considering, what is it, a 79 is holding down that golden spot for you right now, you're going to have to push pretty hard. Got close.
Very close, yeah.
Very close.
It's quite a big overhang on the back of that JZX100 as well.
We're just kind of used to Jarkko pushing that
Pushing
whole
the back
thing
end,
back up. Yeah. Back on throttle. You can see that car now really starting to drive and push forward. Big body vehicle. More 4 doors and drifting, I say.
Yeah, a big JZX100 fan myself, and even tried to buy one last night.
Did you?
Yeah, don't
Stay off
tell my
marketplace.
wife. 88.2 for Jarkko Jula, puts himself into 16th place at the moment, and the Finn will be very happy with that as he takes that car back to the paddock. And again, another shout out to his team. So another Finnish driver on the line. This one, though, a bit of an OG. Juha Potolasco sits on the line, fires the anti-lag off from that 2JZ 900 horsepower BMW E92. It comes off the line, smashing through the gears as Juha Potolasco puts that car to angle, stands on the throttle, left foot brake, trying to put that car right where it needs to be. And it's beautiful for the first 3 zones from Juha as he goes very wide on outside zone 4, but holds it down as Potolasco now fires it up, looks for the wall, and it's very controlled.
Whoa.
Big angle. This is snappy. This is fast and has impact from Juha Potolasco and across the line.
I'm hoping we got in-car on this one because you could see his hands through the car. He is going to war in there. It was like a boxing match. He's going at it, man. This is big. The style is back with Juha, and I'm 100% here for it. I love the way that he's throwing the car around. I love the commitment that's coming through. I mean, once again, we'll have to keep talking about the initiation line, but it was just something that was brought up pretty heavily in the drivers' meeting. It was something that when we talked to the judges, they wanted to make sure it was noted. But these transitions from Potolasco, man, love it. He's right. He might have gone just a part of a wheel off.
A hair.
Couple of treads.
Couple of treads.
Yeah.
Well, we will head.
Look at this.
That's beautiful inside the car. Look at the work he's putting in. One hand on steer. It's
going to be these transitions here. Look at hand over hand. Not a lot of drivers go with that hand over hand.
No, they don't. They certainly don't. But nevertheless, very nice run there for Juha. And we'll see what his score is as it drops in. And don't forget, stop 4 of Drift Masters 2026 will land in Finland.
Yeah,
at
new
a
track.
brand new circuit for us. An 87.7 for Juha, puts him into 18th position at the moment. And yeah, really excited to get back to Finland. The Finnish fans are some of the craziest around the world, and very, very fanatical about drifting, and excited to try a new circuit. We are back on the line. Clint van Oort from the Netherlands. Handbrake failure in the first qualifying run. So what can we see this time? And this 200SX S48 comes off the line. That yellow 2JZ machine screams as he fires it to angle. And a very angry Clint van Oort is going to go super wide. 2 wheels over the edge of the circuit. Helps him to initiate. He's way down on the inside, and it's all falling apart for Clint van Oort as he tries to get himself back onto that qualifying line. He smashes it. He's angry right now as he hits the wall once again. And Clint van Oort abandons the run and says, I give up. He throws the hands up inside the car as well.
Oh, I feel for him. I really feel for him. It's just not how you want this weekend to go.
No, certainly not. It all went wrong from initiation. Watch this big flick. Goes wide. Look at the front wheel holding on, and it pushes him super wide on outside zone 3. He's 2 wheels over, and as soon as he hits the dirt, he transitions the car, but kind of puts it in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And then puts him way on the inside. Look at this. Misses that inner. Goes deep on 3, and then he transitions, and he's way on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, this by a couple of metrics, a 0 and incomplete. I mean, unchaseable. Just didn't come together for him, and it's gut-wrenching. He's one of the friendliest guys in the paddock. The whole team is fantastic. Oh, man, absolutely gutted for him.
Yeah, a 0-0 for Clint Van Orton, a tough way to leave Mondello Park as 0-0, and the 8-0 we get this weekend here at Drift Masters as Jakob Kroll now sits on the line, the Polishman, in this S14.9 full carbon Kevlar car with a 2JZ underneath the bonnet, 920 horsepower. The man from Lodz in Poland comes off the line, screws through the gear, one of the nicest men in the paddock, always got a smile on his face, but when the visor slams shut, he's an absolute killer. And look at this from Jakob Kroll as he flicks the car to outside zone 4, stands on the accelerator, gets in there a little tentative, but now makes it work as he pushes the back end of the S14.9 towards the wall. And looking good right now as Kroll finishes up the run and across the line.
It feels
so
like
calm in the car.
Yeah. It feels like he went for a bit more style on this one, and it unfortunately affected a little bit of line, which that's what we talked about. That's just how things go. Sometimes you got to give up something to gain something else, and I really think it reared its head in 4, where he tried to go for that really snappy transition that's worked out really well for the Shanahans, but unfortunately didn't work out super well for him. But even on initiation, that's probably more angle than we normally would see out of him. Through 3, things look good, but yeah, it goes for that big early transition, and it just didn't come together until halfway through zone 4. But what I will say, sitting in 17th, he's already got a decent score with an 88. Why not have some fun and go for something a bit different?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think if you're in a comfortable place, sitting mid-pack in qualifying, you have to go for that big do-or-die run to try and impress the judges. And going out there and doing the same run again isn't going to improve your score. You're going to kind of go back-to-back. So I think Jakob Kroll was just throwing a little bit of flair and a bit of style at that one. And I can't believe how comfortable he looks inside the car. Just so relaxed.
I was looking at how the entire interior is carbon fiber. The trans tunnel has a carbon cover.
He's a big fan of carbon fiber.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it. But yeah, very calm in the car. We'll see. You know what? He's a driver I don't talk to enough in the paddock.
Oh, I talk to him as much as I can because he's such a nice guy, such a friendly face, and an 84.7 drops in, so it won't be an improvement. He'll stay where he is at the moment in 17th place, and another Polishman getting ready to throw down a circuit. It is, of course, Kuba Paszkowski. Rubs the hands together with the race gloves on. Yeah. Says a final goodbye to his team.
He sounds so finite with that. A little ominous.
Well,
final goodbye to his team. I know. I like the drama. You're great.
You like it?
Yeah.
Harry Kerr on the line at 86.5 from this young man, 2JZ BMW E46 F22 body kit, 850 horsepower. Now, just not liking that first qualifying run, but so what can he do to improve it this time, and what can he do to impress everyone at Mondello Park? Goes super wide, but holds on to it. Big transition, but he's way down on outside zone 4. Manages to dip a wheel in halfway through the zone as Harry Kerr now looks for the wall, flicks it up, flexes the back end of the BMW on the wall. Final wall run coming up, and the 7th outside zone and across the line.
Yeah, not in a terrible spot for him right now. 24th, 86.5. on that first run. It's going to be a decent spot. We've got a few drivers still coming up that could push him down, but I'm not sure if he's quite locked in at this point. Our stats guy's on lunch right now, so he's got to get back to me. But yeah, just another driver trying to go big on it, trying to huck the car as hard as he can. Maybe taking a look at his fellow countrymen, going, okay, I see what they're doing. Yeah, let me give that a go.
And I think that's we say it all the time, and that's what a lot of these guys do. They'll be watching the broadcast from inside the car, they'll be watching the broadcast in their paddocks, and they'll be taking notes.
Well, was it Randall who has a TV screen in his car so we can watch the live stream?
Yep.
Yeah, crazy. But why not? Why not, keep an eye on the competition? I don't know if it adds to the stress or takes the stress away, but I mean, Harry Kerr can throw him with the best of them. He's a styly boy.
He certainly is. And he's a man that's not affected by pressure either.
No.
Which is good to see with Harry Kerr. It doesn't matter what's happening on circuit, even with a 0 under his belt, he'll still have a smile on his face. He'll still go down there and put out the best job he can behind the wheel of that car.
Yeah, he'll throw some jokes at you too.
Oh, he will, yeah.
He goes toe to toe.
Yeah, I think wheel on the curb there was a little bit too far on the inside of inside 2, so judges will be taking a look at that, that's for sure, as the score drops in for Harry Kerr.
Fans are we're already back to standing room only at that section.
Yeah, 76.2. So not an improvement. Judges not liking that either, and I'm going to say that we'll wheel up on the curb
Yeah.
and the late entry into outside zone 4 as well. We're looking for that perfect lead line. We go back on the line to Alan Hines and 80.5, which is currently now the drop zone. So Alan Hines needs an improvement in this beautiful Nissan Silvia S15 2JZ at 900 horsepower. That James Dean built car needs a big improvement. Nice initiation from Alan Hines, a little shallow there on those 3 dotted lines, but nevertheless gets it nice and deep into outside zone 3. Good setup there. Much more confidence in this run from Alan Hines than we see before as he flicks the car towards the wall. Outside zone 6, as he jumps onto the accelerator, flexes the bumper once again and across the line.
I love the style of Alan Hines.
Yeah.
Like, you see...
I like the way you can turn it on and off.
Yes, yeah, he can be very clinical. He can have this like crazy line, but he can also just go lock to lock.
Yeah.
Right? There's not a lot of drivers out there that are willing to like completely
On the line, Simon Olsen from Norway. Nissan Silvia S 14.9, yet again another James Dean built machine on the line. 2JZ 900 horsepower. These machines, a lot of drivers saying some of the best machinery on the grid, and I'm sure there's a few people like to spin them. One that's for sure. As Simon Olsen fires that car in, the Norwegian, because that car needs to be big lock-up, goes a little deep on 3, but deals with it. As he now flicks that car to outside zone 4, it's going to be a late entry into 4 as he opens up the throttle. Now looking for that transition from 5 to 6 up into the wall and just puts the bumper 90 degrees to that wall as he looks for the final outside zone. It's job done across the line.
I have to remember Simon made his Drift Masters debut right here last year.
In that car.
Yeah, in that car, and it wasn't long after that I talked to him. He's like, I might do a lot more of this, and yeah, I think for him, it's just the car floats out just a little bit wide for 3. And I'm wondering if some of those marbles are starting to creep their way out there. You can see he hucks the car pretty hard. He throws a bunch of angle at 3 to try and get it to dig out of there so it doesn't creep so far out of it. Great correction though. Back on track through 4, 5. I was kind of hoping that that wing was going to knock the cone off the wall. It's almost there. Maybe not quite enough overhang. You can get close. You can see head turned all the way out, taking a look. You have to remember too, as these drivers come through these long sections, as soon as they can get view on the next zone, they're already looking towards it. They're already planning how they're going to exit the zone they're in before they come out all the way to the other one. Someone's got to knock that cone out. Technically, it'd be offline, but it's okay.
It's too deep into the zone, technically.
Yeah. There's a famous Jack video
Yeah.
where he just decimates the cone. I think he throws it in the grandstands.
Yeah, so judges were taking a look back at the replay there of outside zone 3. So
Okay.
It looks like it could be 2 wheels off track there, so that's going to hurt his score quite a lot. He was very deep on 3, so we'll see how this one plays out, see how the judges deem this score as it drops in now for Simon Olsen. And currently in 30th place, so he's going to need to improve because
2 incomplete still.
he'll be battling someone, 78, so it isn't an improvement for Simon Olsen. He stays where he is in 30th, and as things sit at the moment, he'll be battling Jack Shanahan in the top 32 tomorrow. So
Oh, that's fantastic.
that's a lovely way to go. There we go, Diogo Correa sits with a 0, the man from Portugal. The anti-lag fires from that Mercedes 104 engine in the front of it as he comes off the line, 900 horsepower as he slams through the gears. And Diogo Correa be looking to put a score on the board. Wow, that car seesawed there on initiation. Can he hold on to it? He certainly can, as Correa now looks to get himself into outside zone 4. This is way cleaner from Diogo Correa as he opens up the throttle on the transition, flicks that car to angle up into the wall as Correa now mid-line for outside zone 6. He just needs a decent run and a decent score on the board as he puts it across the line.
Seesawed.
Seesaw.
That's a new one.
Do you not like? You don't like that?
No, I do like it. It's
You do?
a phenomenal
Did you see it? Watch.
descriptor, yeah.
Yeah, watch it. Watch what happens. It goes back and then forward really quick.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
And I wonder why.
Soft suspension. Yeah,
Look,
right there.
but- it jumped.
It bucks, yeah.
Now we see it.
Yeah, all right. Getting wild out there. No, it's good. As soon as you said it, I was like, that's perfect. That's exactly what it did. Correa, yeah, getting aggressive. I mean, he's trying to jump his car over the mound. I mean, if that hill was a little bit bigger, we'd be in Ebisu territory.
We would, yeah.
We would. Maybe. Can we just go out there with some
I was just
asphalt
thinking
shovels?
that could we?
I mean, there's still time for tomorrow. But yeah, Correa's he's doing a really, really good job out there. He's been improving every single event. It's never really come to him. He's never had that one big one, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. So an 80.7 right now is going to be the cutoff. That's going to be one of those magic numbers that we're going to be talking about for a while.
Yeah, we're looking for more than an 80.7 at the moment. We've got 3 drivers currently sat on an 80.7. So we're looking for an improvement, and it is, and it's going to be an improvement. It's an 83.2 as it drops into your screen, puts him in to 26th place. That knocks Enver Haskasab out of competition and puts Alex Butler on the drop zone now. Drift Pursuit, Red Bull Drift Pursuit wildcard driver, as we see Jason Benet came out of the gate, absolutely swinging a 93.7 on that first qualifying run. Set the scoreboard alight with that big initiation. He's going to go for it again as he goes 90 degrees on initiation. Benet is on another planet this weekend. What did he have for lunch as Jason Benet puts that car all the way through outside zone 4, flicks it to angle. He's going to go for this one as he puts it to the wall, stands on the throttle. Jason Benet is on a mission this weekend in Mondello Park.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
The initiation is unbelievable.
I am first in line to the Benet show. It's kind of unassuming because it's not even a big load up, and then there it is, all the way 90. Not many drivers are doing that.
And the line
still good.
Is shallow on 3. I must say. But the line through inner 2 is absolutely beautiful, but he just sacrifices a little bit there on 3. He just comes up a little short.
Yeah, he needs to just maybe a touch more speed at the run up, but that's it.
Who are we to say that?
I know. But like, nobody else is truly going 90 degrees at that point in the track. A lot of drivers are having to feed it out and really push it out wide, but he's the only one who's just absolutely throwing the car like that.
That's unbelievable. Well, we're waiting for the score to drop in, and it's a 97.5 little top qualifying. I'm not sure if it's there at the moment because of outside zone 3, so we're going to find out how it is. But the rest of the run, Jason Benet, I'll tell you what, that initiation tomorrow might catch a lot of drivers out.
Yeah, and we've seen it work. I mean,
and he's done it twice now.
As long as it's like legal and it's not considered unchaseable, there's been drivers who have won entire events just on the initiation.
Yeah.
So contemplating the score, I get it.
Yeah, he's contemplating the score. He's like, is it up there? Well, we're going to find out. Is it up there? Here we go. Score drops in a 93.2. And wow, that's Mr. Consistent this weekend as Jason Benet stays in 6th place at the moment. Unbelievable stuff from the Frenchman as we go back on the line. It's going to be Connor Falvey from Ireland. Before we get him off the line, let's have a word with Connor Falvey.
Yeah, I definitely feel really good coming into Ireland. My team has worked unbelievably hard. The car went back to DLM Sport, and in under 2 weeks they built an engine that's actually better than the first engine that was in the car. I'm unbelievably grateful. Words can't describe how grateful I am for my team and all these wonderful people around me. Without them, wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, well, there we go, a brand new engine underneath the bonnet of that Drift Games Nissan Silvia S15, and engine failure in Spain. We see the oil all over the rock cover, and Starlight Marshall Martin had to disqualify him from competition. That's a bit of a mouthful there. Here we go though, through the gears as he flicks it to angle. What can Connor Falvey do? He'd love to do well here at his home event as Connor Falvey puts it deep to outside zone 3, on the throttle nice and early for outside zone 4, and Falvey looking rock steady in very good form this morning after practice as Falvey now flicks it towards the wall. Tail light's gone again from Falvey, but it does upset the line as he fires it to the wall one more time. Outside zone 7 collecting it across the line.
Yeah, he does a great job threading the needle through that initiation. Yeah. It's really good to see him. Caught her off guard. It's really good to see him kind of build up that confidence. Pulls just a little bit of that angle out so he can make sure he goes through. Not too bad there. Collects that zone. It's so tough to get all 3 of those. It really is tough. And 3 again.
He missed outside zone 3, yeah.
Yeah. Judges are going to come back hard on that one. But I do like him, really getting aggressive towards the wall. Disrupts the car just a little bit. And it's it's going to be kind of a maturity thing with him too, right? Because
Yeah.
as he grows up, some of these smaller mistakes will disappear.
Yeah, look, he's been on this main stage now for 2 years. No, it's coming up 3 years. Sorry, and he's still learning the ropes. It takes a lot of these drivers 3-4 seasons to really settle into Drift Masters and not be nervous when they pull to the line. Here we go. Score drops in an 84.5. Yeah, missing that outside zone, the disruption on hitting the wall at 5. Look, it happens. We go back on the line though to a man whose car I absolutely love and want to take home. Is Benediktas Čerba from Lithuania. This incredible carbon fibre, carbon Kevlar BMW G42 2JZ 900 horsepower, 90 on the board, sits in 12th place at the moment. Oh wow! Čerba not messing around. Oh, but he's going to sacrifice outside zone 3. Čerba with an incredible initiation. Just sacrificing a little bit of line there as Čerba now fires through, looks for the wall run, going to keep it clean, flexes the back end on the wall as Čerba puts it for the final outside zone and across the line.
Did we change events? Is this now a big entry competition?
Wow.
Another driver, 90
That was
degrees.
90 degrees.
Yeah, it was. It was truly, look at this. Oh my gosh. Forget the rest of the run. I know 3, whatever, but man, we just get replays of that over and over
Look
again.
at
That's
this.
fine. I love it. I love it.
That's unbelievable for Benediktas Čerba.
He went for
knew.
7.
Yeah, he
thought there was 2 inside clips.
He knew he'd made the mistake, and he just kind of stayed in it. But wow, if that would have paid off, that was phenomenal.
It's a beautiful mistake, Ian.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a highlight reel moment for us and for you guys watching along with us on the broadcast and here in attendance. And Čerba, I love this guy's driving style. I love what he brings to the table here at Drift Masters, and such a nice guy to have around.
Yeah. He's a great guy. I don't know, I love it. I love big entries like that. It kind of gets back to like the roots of like why we all got into drifting. Those viral clips from back that still go on today, where someone just does something crazy, backies, things like that. Beautiful shot there. Green grass of Ireland in front of us, and still not a bad score.
I mean, yeah, still an 84.2 drops in, but untouched on that 90. Stays where he is in 12th place at the moment. We're going to see if he gets dropped down the order as scores now may improve for some of these drivers, as Marko Zakaru from the Czech Republic sits on the line at 87.5. That Volkswagen 2-litre engine, as Jacob likes to call it, the bag of angry bees comes off the line and screams through. What can Zakaru do? Oh, tentative initiation there. Looked like the car checked up a little bit, if you don't excuse the pun. Fires it to outside zone 3, now 4, as Zakaru on the throttle fulfills all of outside zone 4 and now works his way through up to the wall. Will Zakaru flex the back end? He doesn't, but he takes a midline through outside zone 6, looks for the final outside zone. It's across the line from the young Czech driver.
Solid dad pun in there.
Yeah, you like that one?
That's really good. Yeah, just a bit more hesitant all the way through. A driver opting for a much further back seating position, way far back. But yeah, on initiation, like just disrupt. It doesn't even disrupt the car.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if he even initiated on time.
No, I don't think he did. I think that there was so much grip there that he went to set the car, it just didn't react, and he had to just commit to it.
Yeah, you can see through the rest of it too when he does get on throttle. That car just wants to fire off. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Sometimes the judges will tell me, yeah, it was incomplete right off of that. But I think he might have just gotten that car initiated in time. There is that line just before they come out into zone 1. A little bit of a dance there. Open palm slap on the shifter.
Yeah. I really love seeing these on-board shots of the drivers. See how they work the car. See the different driving styles as well. A lot of drivers will do different things inside the car, and we've seen a lot of that one-handed steering, one hand poised, ready for the handbrake or the gear lever to either downshift or upshift or grab a bit of handbrake.
Or sometimes when they shift and then handbrake, or handbrake then shift.
Yeah. So there we go. Score drops in at 76.7. No movement for Marko Zakaru, and you see Jack Shanahan in the car getting ready to rock and roll, and all the team around him as he plugs in the radio to talk to the spotter. Mats will be in the tower as we go back down on the line to Espen Road. 78 on that first qualifying run. He's in 36th place at the moment. He said that desperate to try and make it work. Well, I'm surprised he's back out for that second qualifying run. The damaged engine full of concrete coming off the line. The overnight repairs could work as Espen Road fires in on big angle. It's a nice line so far as Espen Road pushes right to the edge of the circuit. Now fires back, puts into outside zone 4 as a young Norwegian stands on the accelerator. I don't even know if he has 700 horsepower at the moment as he puts it up into the wall. Espen Road very clean. One wheel just tickles over the edge of that white line as Road looks for the final outside zone to cross the line.
Just amazing he's still running. They say they pumped, was it like 15 liters or something of water in, and it ended up mixing with the oil. It was just not a good time. Just a big crack right in the cylinder wall, and plugged everything up with some concrete, and here he is. So once again, just impressed that he's able to get out here and make it. The big question is going to be, is he going to be able to get that spot? Is he going to be able to beat an 80.7 and claw his way into qualifying? And then at that point, what do you do? Do you keep running it until we have a track cleanup, or, I don't know.
Well, I mean, look, if water temps in the cylinder head and the engine's not angry, and everything's working as it should do, then why not keep running it?
I agree.
Hey, the engine's full of concrete, so it's harder for the rod to leave the block.
That's a good point.
That's what he said to us yesterday. He was like, hey, the chances of me spilling anything on the track are minimal now.
And if you didn't know, concrete in the block is not actually unheard of. It was kind of used back in 4-cylinder drag racing days. I don't know if people still do it. Well, somebody's still doing it. He's in front of us. And there it is. Wow.
Oh, on 85.2, does get himself up into the show, and Espen Road will be happy with that. Gets himself into 25th place at the moment as we jump back down the order to the next driver. It's going to be David Spossum. Sits himself, up to the order as David Spossum sits in 21st as he slides slider closed on his window and gets ready to leave the line. The Polish driver in this Nissan Silvia S15 2JZ, 920 horsepower, good initiation. Onto the handbrake and the throttle a little late, but makes it work nevertheless. The Spossum now works the back end of that car into outside zone 4. It's very clean right now for Spossum. He's again another very good Polish line driver as he flicks the car up into the wall, just grazes the bumper along it right to the edge of the circuit for David Spossum as he puts it to that final outside zone. The job done as he throws in a 360.
That was clean 360 too.
Yeah, very good.
Very, very good.
Been practicing him.
I took the words out of my mouth. He's got to be practicing. Getting back into our
a nice improvement there as we go tumbling down the order into 28th place now for the Estonian driver Oliver Randaloo, an 82.5. He'll be angry behind the wheel now, and he'll want this one as he bursts the tyres into life off the line and smashes through the gears in this M50 Turbo BMW E46. Stands on the accelerator, a little shy on that dyed white line as Oliver Randaloo now fulfills all of outside zone 3 and puts it into 4 perfectly as Randaloo opens up the throttle, stares down the barrel, stares down the track, looking for that wall run as he fires on the angle, but he's come up a little shallow in outside zone 6. Now works himself to the edge of the circuit and across the line.
Yeah, he's in unfamiliar territory, all the way down in 28th spot.
Yeah.
An 82.5. Remember, our cutoff's only an 80.7, so seems to be still in a good place don't believe he can be pushed down that much. So he's in the show. I would kind of expect a bigger run, just a big, crazy entry. Or maybe he's going more for that clean side of things where he's just going to go, I'm going to run the outside line all the way through. Unfortunately, it didn't quite come together in those terms, but for right now, another driver just kind of putting down a quality run. Feels very safe. See Ian doing some math there.
Yeah,
I
mean, you don't trust me to do math for a start. I'm just looking at the drop zone. At the moment, we've got Simon Olsen sitting on the drop zone with an 80.7. Now, there's only one driver left that can take him out of competition, and that is Juha Rittinen. Juha Rittinen is the only driver left that hasn't got a score on the board. Everybody else is above Simon Olsen. So Simon Olsen, to stay in competition, will need Juha Rittinen to not score on that second qualifying run, as we see some beautiful slow-mo shots there of Oliver Randalou. So that means that Dave Egan has qualified for the show.
Wow.
So everybody now above Dave Egan has qualified. I hear the grandstand erupt there with a cheer. That means we do have Dylan Garvey, Dave Egan, Kareem Harney in the show. As Simon Olsen now nervously waits for Juha Rittinen's second qualifying run, and if Rittinen, gets back to form, that again another Finnish OG driver, if he manages to come out here and put more than an 80 on the board, we will lose Simon Olsen from competition.
Wow.
So we wait for that score to drop in for Oliver Randalou. An 83.2 does improve, but doesn't improve enough to move him. Oh, he moves one step up the order, my apologies, into 27th place. So still down there in the order. Right, back on the line we go. Laurie Heinen. You wave it back?
I did wave back. It's just instant.
I laugh so much I made myself cough then. Right, ladies and gentlemen, Laurie Heinen off the line. That Dodge NASCAR V8 900 horsepower screams off the line as a young Finishman fires it in. Heinen on a mission this weekend after heartbreak on Friday's practice. What can he do right now? The former champion goes way wide but holds it down on outside zone 4. Stands on the throttle. Big flicks from Heinen, and he's come for the impressive run. Oh! Flexes the back end on the wall as Laurie Heinen absolutely comes out swinging on the second run.
This is why he's so many fan and drivers.
Yeah.
He's a driver's driver.
He is a driver's driver.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers we'll kind of stand there and just watch Laurie go around, because he'll pull some crazy stuff out of the bag. It doesn't matter what's happened. He's always like, yeah, we'll figure it out. Like they used old bits and pieces from their slide hammer with a lug nut from, I think it was Juha's rig, and just anything he can do to get back out there in competition. Look how hunched over he is. He's leaning out trying to see past the halo seat. Man, he is working that car. That's a lot of clutch in and out too.
Yeah, that's a super aggressive run from Laurie Heinen. He's really working that car. Look at this. Just one wheel over. There will be points deducted on outside zone 4, but nevertheless, I think the impact and the style and what he brought to that run was just phenomenal from Laurie Heinen.
Yeah, style and angle might just make up for that.
Yeah,
one or 2 points.
It wasn't lacking in angle, that's for sure.
Nope. All the angle. Angle for days.
Oh, there we go, a 91. And again, another driver that's super consistent. Yeah, look at that angle
19.
score, 19 on angle, and a 54 on line. Very nice job there from Laurie Heinen as we go back on the line to Kuba Brzezowski, an 87.2, down in 21st place. Not where he would like to have sat, so he's trying to improve in this Toyota GR86 B58 900 horsepower as he comes off the line. The Polishman will look for a big improvement. Big flick to angle and sets that car up nicely. A little shallow though on those 3 dotted lines as he puts a rear wheel right to the edge of the circuit. Brzezowski into outside zone 4, right on that nice line, and stares down now for Phil's outside zone 5 as he flicks the car towards the wall. A little tentative there, waited a little bit on that transition to set the car up. Didn't want to plow into the wall and across the line for Kuba Brzezowski.
It was smart. It was really smart to hang tight for a second, because if he would have made that transition when he did, it would have been a very different rear end that's on that vehicle if there was one. But an incredibly smooth run. Like it's one of those, I feel like if you had a glass of water in there, it wouldn't spill. Just every transition, look, it's calculated, it's clean, it's just buttery. Right on the outside line, I do think, as we talked about, it's another one of those kind of sleeper runs where I think when we talk about the line score, it's going to be really, really good. Angle wasn't bad either. It's tough because you can have a lot of angle, but if you don't get to it really quick, it doesn't feel like it's a lot of angle. Because every transition, he's got the car way out there.
Yeah.
But because he does it in a much more delayed fashion, he takes his time getting the car out there. it doesn't feel like it's a lot of angle. So maybe not on the style side of things, but line and angle should clean up quite nicely for him. It's a menacing looking car.
Yeah, certainly as the red headlights just
Yeah.
really make it look aggressive.
But yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's clean, you know, very, very chaseable. Nothing dramatic though would be maybe the only negative point to it. And that's that little bit of style.
Yeah, there we go, an 85.5, no improvement, stays where he is in 21st place at the moment, and yeah, maybe just lacking a little bit. So here we go back on the line. Yeah, look at this, Pavel Kopolinski.
Oh, show off.
Such a show off juggling.
It's really good for eye tracking. Oh, see that? All right, do a trick. It's easy to do. Show me hard. Then. Yeah. Show me a hard.
There's no need to be
trick.
flash, is
I
there?
know.
Drift a car as well as him and juggle. I can't even juggle.
No.
Here we go back on the line though. Kevin Vasseur now from Estonia, 88.7. This BMW M2 off the line. That M50 turbo again, 1,000 horsepower. Flicks that car to angle. Nice initiation. Looking very good. Puts the car right to the edge of the circuit, looking for a slight improvement this time as he fires into outside zone 4. Big pace, and as we say, this man now renowned on the grid as one of the fastest drivers on circuit. Looks like he maybe took a little bit out of it, dials on the angle, tags the wall, 90 degrees to that concrete wall as Vasseur puts foot to floor and pulls it across the line.
The one upside with having that much grip in the car is when you back it into a corner, when you go kind of, it looked like he was going deep through 3, you put the throttle down and the car digs out of it. That is the biggest benefit to having a car that's that tight. So we'll see here. I mean, the big old drag race start there. No wheel spin, great launch. We go, great initiation there. Could have been a little bit closer in on that initiation line. The transitions are really fast. As soon as the car gets on power, it just goes. He's kind of holding it back with the amount of angle he's got dialed into the front. Good transitions. It's just another solid run. He's just a menace out there, though. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I did want to watch it back. It was very, it was a highlight reel moment. But when you look at it back, the contact with the wall did upset the front wheels. You could see him. He did have to make a correction. So judges will be taking a look at that. Rest of the run though, really nice and good initiation from Kevin Vasseur. As you say, that car really just looks dialed, it looks balanced this year, and it looks really like gripped up and turned up this year.
It's fast, but it seems easy.
Yeah, it
right?
doesn't look out of control, but it's very fast.
There's cars that are fast and on a knife edge, like Nick Nack always feels like he's ready to crash, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
He just holds it back. Vasseur's looks fast, but still like you could handle it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to each their own. I think Nick Nack looks really, really good in a darty car.
There we go, an 89 drops in for Kevin Vasseur, a slight improvement. Moves him up the order slightly to 15th place. And he'll be happy with that. Mid-pack, we're almost halfway through qualifying. Half of our drivers on the grid are sitting with a 90 now. We have 13 drivers with a 90. Still some to come that could improve. Nassau Harbali now comes off the line with a 91 on that first qualifying run. The man from El Salvador in the supercharged 400Z flicks that car wildly across the circuit. Very nice initiation from Harbali. Looks like he's got things dialed in for 2026. This is beautiful from this young man as he puts the car deep into outside zone 4 and he feels confident. This is a confidence booster of a run as he flicks the car towards the wall. It's absolutely beautiful from Nasser Al-Harbali. This is textbook stuff right now as he puts it across the line.
Just stepping it up again. 91. That's got to be up there with one of his best qualifying scores, sitting with a 91. This might be an improvement, though. This might be enough because the initiation seems stronger. Coming over the line, everything looks good. Going out to 3, which is a spot where a lot of drivers were struggling. 1, he's got absolutely perfect. Inside zone, didn't overshoot it, came close. 3 he's spot on. He's right to the edge of the track. 4, and he's holding that car right on the edge. Oh, did he dip a wheel, maybe?
I think he's right on the edge.
I think a tread was still touching.
Yeah.
Judges can hear me. I think a tread was still touching. But yeah, it's great. He's pushing the envelope. He's getting out of his comfort zone just a little bit and driving the car harder than I think he even knew he could. Yeah, look at that. Couldn't put a credit card between that bumper and the wall. Oh, man.
Wow, that's phenomenal from Nassau Harbali. So good to see him back in Drift Masters, back in the championship, and back looking confident and dialed in as well.
Yeah, the driver that we saw in Riga last year is so different than how he is now.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? He kind of hinted at us last year in Riga. He's like, same thing. I don't want to do a full season.
Yeah.
And we're like, we would love to see you do a full season. And he's just coming to his own. This car, I mean, he was kind of hesitant whether or not he really wanted to bring this car out and drive it for a full year. Look at that. What a beautiful. Do you know how hard it is to land focus like that? Like, you know, I'm not here to do commentary on camera movement, but that is tough.
That's tough.
That's really tough.
Well, here we go. We're waiting for that score to drop in from Nasser Habali, looking super confident this weekend. I'm telling you now, if this is a 90 plus as well, he is going to be somebody to keep your eye on tomorrow because his chase driving as well is super aggressive. He makes these brave dives onto the door and he'll take a risk.
Well, and being above the top 16 threshold means you're going to have that choice to lead or chase, which is something we haven't even gotten into yet. But that could still be a massive thing that could decide it. It basically decided how Italy went. It had some big implications in Spain. This is going to be no different.
Yeah, well, there we go. Not sure if those implications matter here so much at Mondello, but who knows. Here we go, a 92.5 for Nasser Al-Habali. 8th position, does move him up the order slightly, and we have some big names in that. That top 10 of the drivers is just a phenomenal list of drivers.
Speaking of.
Yeah, we go back on the line to the man that currently sits 3rd in qualifying. It is, of course, Jack Shanahan, the homeland hero from Kilovolt. GT86 2JZ, 1,000 horsepower. What can he do? He'll be driving aggressive and be trying to improve and trying to impress, and he does. At 90 degrees of initiation, and Shanahan goes right to the edge of the circuit. Big flick back from Shanahan as he gets into outside zone 4 perfectly. But Shanahan now works his way around the circuit, deep onto outside zone 5 and up onto the wall, 90 degrees. Hardly any handbrake from Shanahan. He's absolutely flying to that final outside zone.
We said it earlier, there's a very few drivers that can make that transition, get it to the wall and stay on throttle the whole time. Jack is one of a handful of drivers that can do it. Monumental run. He's still going.
He's still going.
Still going.
Wow.
I don't even want to see the replay. Just keep showing me that. Wow. Oh, remember, 97.5. His younger brother is currently sitting on that, and from first glance, this is going to be close. That's it. One quick tug of the handbrake through there, sets the car up, minimal transitions, couple little. He had like curb feelers on the car. He just knew exactly where the wall was going to be.
You don't even see the handbrake be pulled there.
If he does, I didn't see it. Oh.
Wow. So here we go. We're going to see the onboard here on the transition to the wall.
Oh
my God.
That doesn't even count. No.
Wow.
That's just reflex. Oh my
gosh. My God. That was unbelievable from Jack Shanahan.
Oh man.
The amount of smoke as well. He is full tilt. That's outside zone 3 right there. You can see him coming into, and that. He was right on the edge of the track. A 96.5 for Jack Shanahan on the second qualifying run. Just pipped to the post by his brother. But I tell you what, he'll be happy with that. And so is his family, shouting and screaming as they cheer him on. And we will see Jack Shanahan come up the final run of qualifying. We go back on the line. Juha Rittinen now is the only man in competition that can upset the top 32. What can he do as Rittinen sits on a 0? He needs to get an 80.7 or more. What can he do as he flicks that car in, stands on the accelerator? Rittinen wants this, he needs it, as he gets right to the edge of the circuit, fires it to outside zone 4. Beautiful line from Juha Rittinen as he opens up the throttle, stands on the accelerator, looks for outside zone 5, and this is textbook. Juha Rittinen at the moment sets himself up beautifully for the wall run deep onto that outside zone 6. Final outside zone, he's across the line, it's done for Juha Rittinen.
Yeah, Simon Olsen right now, probably no fingernails left watching that run go through because it was very clean. It was a very clean run from Juha Rittinen, who, as you said, 80.7, that is the magic number for him to see come up on the scoreboard. And taking a look at how this is coming together, it's going to be pretty tight. It's an incredibly clean run. He's all the way to the edge, all the way through. Pretty much every zone, he's got that back wheel touching it or in proximity. The angle's clean. Maybe not a ton of style, but it's going to be tough. gonna be tough.
It's one of those runs where he knew he had to go out there. He couldn't do a 50% run. It had to be 100%.
Yeah.
As Conor Shanahan said earlier on in that interview with Becky, there's no half measures. You have to go out full tilt. And I think that's what Rittinen done. But he knew he was out of the competition. He had to get an 80.7 or more, and it will be a nervous wait for Simon Olsen as the score drops in. The finish flag flies in the light breeze we have here at Mondello Park as fans still in the grandstand watching on. And the drift finish fans at 85.2. And Simon Olsen, ladies and gentlemen, we lose from competition, but that is our top 32 set now. So the only thing that can now change is our order. Everybody that's in is in. And Juha Rittinen does get himself into the show as we go back on the line. It will be Dwayne McKeever up next as he gives a thumbs up to our start line Marshall Martin. A 94.2 for his first qualifying run. Absolutely blows the tyres off the back of that. What 2JZ powered 180SX, he flicks the car to angle, and it's lovely at the moment from McKeever as he bubbles that car through outside zone 3, gets it into 4, opens up the throttle, looks down for the transition as McKeever now looks for the wall run. He flicks the car to it, hardly any handbrake again, but it's a midline on outside zone 6 for McKeever as he goes wide on outside zone 7 and across the line.
Same everybody's going to go for a 360. It's going to be the Northern Smoke Machine.
It's going to be McKeever, yeah.
Yeah.
Not 1 but 2.
I'm shocked it wasn't 3. All right, so really solid initiation through here. Collect zone 2 quite well. Into 3. It's a tough spot there because 3 can be so rewarding, but it can come back and kick you. I mean, Jack only lost his points there, just going a touch of a wheel off, and I think Dwayne might have had a similar thing, but then through 4, look at this. He could have just painted the line. Could have put a brush on the back of that car and just let him repaint that for us. Through 5, everything looking good. You see, that's the handbrake pull I'm looking for. Just a little one.
You're obsessed with the handbrake pull
Well,
today.
I'm just trying to find new things to kind of obsess over. But yeah, like a light switch. That's what you're looking for. But coming out on that in-car, you can see how close it feels in the car. It feels like you're going to crash into the wall because the difference between a perfect zone 6 and crashing into the wall is about 3 millimeters.
Yeah.
That's it. We'll see what kind of score comes up at 94.2. His current score sitting in 4th. He's got that. I believe he's going to have that. Well, no, he wouldn't have that locked in yet. There's a few drivers that could bump him down, but yeah, we'll see.
And we've got score drops in at 95.2, so a slight improvement to McKeever. He stays where he is in 4th place. As we see Viensek getting ready in the car.
Yeah, this is one of those drivers that could knock Dwayne down.
11th.
I know. Weird spot.
Yeah, down in 11th with a 91.5. So Viensek there will be trying to improve on that, that's for sure. As we get back on the line, Nicolas Bertans, an 86.7, their first qualifying run. The Hishike Eurofighter E92 BMW comes off the line with a 1,000 horsepower V8 screaming. A big flick to angle for Nicolas Bertans right along the rumble strip. He's going to go wide here though. Can he hold on to it? He can, but he comes up early to outside zone 3. Now he's going to be late on 4. He goes super wide. Oh, and it's 3 wheels. Is it 3 wheels over the edge of the circuit as he holds on to it? Nicolas Bertans will continue to run. He puts it to the wall and into outside zone 6, and the final zone coming up, and it's a scrappy run, Jacob.
Yeah, just couldn't put it together. Came through the gate really, really hot. I mean, it was an incredibly fast run. Yeah, just unfortunately, it kind of shoots over a little bit too much on the inside zone. So, I mean, it feels like a kind of a similar issue that we saw with him a little bit earlier on this year too, where some of the inside zones, he couldn't get the car to force it that way, and then it's going to be at least 2 wheels off through zone 4. So I don't think this is going to be an improvement over what we saw previously. But yeah, I mean, knick-knack. Qualifying's not really been his game this year. It's been the lead and a very aggressive chase.
Yeah, exactly that. It comes alive. We speak about it quite a lot, Jacob, that he comes alive in those battles. And chase driving is just phenomenal. But there are those mistakes that creep in there as well. So we're going to see how this lands him. He is.
Yeah, it's going to...
he is at the moment, 22nd place, so in the lower half of our top 16 bracket. So he will have a tough fight tomorrow in top 32. So Just trying to do the maths, but I'm no good at maths, so I'm not going to get involved with that. I'm just judging in progress. We are waiting for that score to drop in from Bertans.
I'm wondering if they're just seeing if it was 3 minutes
Yeah,
off.
I think they're looking at outside zone 4. I think that's the point of the circuit where they're looking at to see if it was a 0 maybe.
Yeah, right now still going through. I mean, it could. You could make an argument for unchaseable as well.
Yeah, especially here.
Yeah. So either way, not great. I don't think it's going to improve on an 86.7.
64.2, yeah.
Okay.
He stays where he is, lower down in the order. So it will be a tough day tomorrow for Nicholas Bertans. But as we say, comes up when it matters in the battles. Only 5 drivers left to go as we now jump on board with Mika Keski-Korpi in this incredible BMW F22 as he slams through the gears. A 94 in our first qualifying run. What can he do right now? 5th place at the moment. He'd like to top qualifying or get himself into the top 3, but it's a tough ask at the moment. Nice line though, into outside zone 4 as he stands on the accelerator. That S58 BMW engine screams underneath the bonnet, up to the wall he goes. It's absolutely beautiful from Mika Keski-Korpi as he wanders away from the second half of the wall run and across the line.
There we go. Yeah, agreed. Agreed, sir. Agreed.
Yeah.
There we go. It's another great run from him. He's been so consistent through practice and through this season. Let's be honest. Like coming out that qualifying, we talked about the weight on his shoulders and how difficult it is to come off something like that and remain consistency. But he's doing it. Outside zone 3 is quite good. And through 4, another driver just painting the edge of it. We're not going to have an outside line by the time we're done here today. I think he might have to bolt his seat in a little more. Shaking pretty good.
I think that's the speed he's carrying.
That could be the case. Yeah, he likes the rumble seat. But yeah, Mika is just very dialed, very calm, cool, collected. And yeah, it seems like some of the mistakes he made from last year, some of those younger mistakes that he would have, where he would get overcommitted in spots or be aggressive in strange spots, those are pretty much gone now.
Yeah, they are. They certainly are. And I think he's grown into such an incredible driver. And it is, as we say, I think he's so collected now and calm. This year is a different Mika Keski-Korpi, and it's good to see.
Yeah, it's really good to see. It's another driver that's leveling up and becomes somebody who's back in this kind of competition fight too. You got to remember, he's up there in our season rankings already. He's 5th right now in qualifying. Like,
yep.
You know, if you told Mika 2 years ago this is where he was going to be, probably wouldn't believe you. But here he is.
Yeah, and a 90.5 drops in and cements himself into that 5th place at the moment. Only 4 more drivers left to go now as we head down back on the start line. And look at that, Mika Keski-Korpi, just been a bit of a showman inside the car. He is a showman for sure.
Yeah.
As Pavel Korpolinski now pulls to the line, a 92.2 on that first qualifying run. Sees him down in 9th place at the moment. The Surgeon slams that 2JZ S14 of into gear and off the line, 900 horsepower as he flicks that car aggressively across the track. Nice initiation, very collected, goes nice and wide to outside zone 3. Good transition on the handbrake very early though. Through that transition, judges will be taking a look at that as he fulfills all of outside zone 4. Flicks the car back up onto the wall. Oh, beautiful stuff there from Pavel Korpolinski as he puts it into that final outside zone and across the line.
I feel like I could hear it scuff off the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I heard
that little
quick
scrape, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he hasn't rewrapped his car. It's just that clean. it's how clean his runs are. 92.2 on the first one, currently sitting in 9th. Give you an idea, initiation looking solid from our drone. Very high up in the sky. I kind of like that view, though. Gives you an idea of where a driver is all the way through the zones, through 4, just completely on the edge through that section of the track. The transition timing seems different though.
Yeah.
You said from 3 to 4, he transitioned, like he kind of hit 3 and then immediately snapped the car back over.
Yeah, for me, he's on the handbrake for quite a long time as well, going into 4, and not sure if the judges like it or not, or if it's anticipated by a chase driver, but we'll find out in a minute. But the rest of the run, though, very clean. And seems like he's pushing the limit a little bit as well, like pushing the back of that car towards the wall more than he did before.
Might have caught a wheel off through 6 as well, but
yeah, there we go, an improvement, and he knocks Mika Keski-Korpi down, puts himself into 5th place with a 94 dead on the board, and he'll be smiling inside the car as well as he is in his little profile snap there.
Yeah, he's a smiley guy.
He is a very smiley guy. Right, we're in the top 3. James Dean's up next before we send him off the line. Let's hear from James Dean.
I learned a lot of the basics in grass fields, and what's a very funny story is the farmer that owns the land that I used to drive on, his son is now drifting. The kids saw me driving around the fields when they were really young and suddenly decided to get involved themselves.
Well, there we go, James Dean. Well, he started on a grass field in Ireland, and now from grassroots to top of the roots, he is absolutely flying this weekend. What can he do right now? Third in qualifying, he'd love nothing more than to top it. Oh, wow! Dean, 90 degrees of initiation as he puts that car where it needs to be, right to the edge of the circuit. Good transition back, dab of the handbrake before he enters outside zone 4. He stands on the accelerator. The V8 underneath the bonnet of that Ford Mustang RTR screams as he flexes the back end on the wall. James Dean back on the wall again, looks for the final zone and across the line.
There you go. That's the Dean we expected.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen to that V8 scream.
Just wanted to soak in it for a minute.
Yeah, he's soaking it up as well. James Dean, look at that, put on a show for his Irish fans. And
I mean, inarguably the greatest to ever do it. Going out, throwing it big. He's got the tires lit off for so long. Still gets the initiation line, even though it's both wheels trailing through it. Look at this. Oh, little bit of a correction there. Whatever. Out to 3. Big transition out to 4. On throttle. Just checks it a little bit to get the car to settle up. Making sure that suspension's in a good spot. Transition's pretty early there from out of 4 into 5. And there he is, working back and forth. Oh man, his footwork is just next level. Anytime they post a video of him working the pedals, I'll just watch it on repeat. And there we go, look at that, just back and forth, just keeping the revs up. He drives the V8 like it's a turbo car, like he's trying to keep the revs up. And man, all the way out, catches some rear end. Does a great job to the rest of it.
Wow, look at that, 95.2, almost identical back-to-back scores. And seals his place in 3rd place in qualifying for this weekend. An unbelievable top 3 in qualifying at the moment, but we have 2 men left to go. One man that could upset the Apple car, and look at his team in the paddock waiting to see what he can do. Down in 11th place, Viensek's paddock wait on to see what he can do. Viensek sits on the line wondering what he can do. Can Peter Viensek get himself up into the top 8 to claim some points for the championship fight? Remember, the top 8 score points. He's out of those in qualifying at the moment. He slams through the gears. Viensek in this 2JZ 890 Super, fires it on big angle. Big initiation, but he misses in a 2. Oh, and he has scrubbed some angle. And there's mistakes creeping in for Viensek as he gets himself into outside zone 4. Opens the throttle, looks for the transition to 5 as he now works his way around the circuit up into the wall for outside zone 6. Oh, he shuts it down. Viensek shuts it down.
Man.
And could it be another engine change overnight for the Worthhouse team down there as they nervously now wait? He won't improve on that score, so he sits out of clawing any points from qualifying. Remember, the top 8 get points from qualifying. Let's have a look back at the replay though, Jacob.
And that's big for championship implications. I mean, it's every year it feels like it comes down to just 1 or 2 points to clinch this, but already looks like he's fighting something, not able to get to that 2nd zone, and then coming through 4, it takes him a second to get on throttle. Car's looking pretty good here, and it's gonna be after that transition. The car just feels like it completely shut down. There's a big backfire right after. It's right here, it just pops off.
Throws his hands in the air on the steering wheel, and there's nothing for it. And that's 9-0 scored in qualifying today.
Crazy.
Crazy amount of zeros we've seen.
There it is.
Wow.
Big backfire.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, look at this. He's straight back into the pits. The team are straight back to work on the car as Peter will get himself out, and then look at this, a laptop already being plugged in by his tuner that he has with him. All the 90% of these teams will have a tuner with them, checking over the data from the ECU. We go back on the line though to Conor Shanahan, the man that sits in 1st place in qualifying, and he won't be touched. Conor Shanahan will round out qualifying. What can he do? This is just a do or die run. This is a showman run from the young man from Ireland as he fires in the 2JZ GT86. The crowd already erupting in the grandstands as Shanahan will top qualifying here at round 3 of Drift Masters. 2026 at Red Bull Drift Masters collaboration for round 3. Wow, Shanahan fires it to the wall, shallows up the angle, a little mistake creeps in, but he won't be bothered because he's done it on home soil. He takes top step in qualifying. Jacob, is this a sign of things to come tomorrow?
Could be. It really could be. I mean, he very much feels untouchable right now.
He does.
He's on form. He's confident. You know, mechanically, they've had a good chunk of time. Home base is not far away. They could ship that whole car, rebuild it overnight, and be back here if they needed to. Everything's coming together for him. So, yeah, is he untouchable? I mean, right now, it's very much pointing in that direction. I feel like you know, he might have gotten the call to, hey, just go have fun. The regular spotter, Mats, is back home right now in Norway on baby watch, so his cousin Kevin is in his ear. So it's right back to the old days. He's got his cousin in his ear. He's driving like mad with his brother. This feels like how he grew up. And that is a very dangerous place for everyone else.
It certainly is, yeah. And I mean, look, Conor Shanahan hunting down that back-to-back championship here at Drift Masters, and it looks like 2026 could be Shanahan's year for a back-to-back championship.
Yeah, and I mean, with Piotr down in the points, and then now not being able to pick up any points in qualifying, this is big. This is really, really big. We've still got tomorrow. There's so much that can happen tomorrow, but for right now, early days, Conor Shanahan is in a phenomenal spot with all the confidence in the world and the entire country backing him up.
Yeah, they certainly have. There we go, some beautiful slow-mo shots as we see the second run. It will be an 88.5. We see those mistakes creeping in on that second run of qualifying for Conor Shanahan, but what a way to seal out the day. And we know who has finished in the top 3, and we're going to get a reaction from the pits and of the Shanahan family. Look at this, his mother Val there, just doing the washing up, getting ready to have some food. Nasser Al-Habali and Konstantin Sharenko down there, and give him a round of applause. They know he's done it. They know he's rounded out qualifying in first place, and we're going to bring up onto the screen how qualifying finished up, and you are going to be amazed because this is unbelievable. Look at this in the top 3. Conor Shanahan takes top spot in qualifying. Then it will be Jack Shanahan in second place and James Dean in third, Dwayne McKeever in fourth. It is an all-Irish lockout in the top 4 in qualifying here at Drift Masters. Round 3, that Red Bull Drift Masters collaboration in Ireland. Laurie Hindman down there in 8th, taking the last points in qualifying. But there we go, Nasser Al-Habali up in the order. Jacob, some serious names.
Yeah, it's been such an incredible time to see this. And I mean, there's your top 16 rounding out with Kempasur and Iteseta. It's going to be a very interesting top 32, and we'll hopefully get a bit of a preview of that in a second. And this is going to be the latter half of the bracket. These are the drivers that won't get to choose what they do. Yaput Delaxo down in 19th. Connor Falvey 22nd. You know he's going to want to bump that up.
Yeah.
Bertans 23rd. Dave Egan right on the bubble. I mean, leave it to Dave Egan to make it dramatic.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to see how the battle tree stacks out, but I already know kind of what we got coming up later on.
Yeah, right.
So we're used to it. But these are the guys that are out. It's going to be Simon Olsen out, Haskasap out, our wild card from Red Bull Drift Masters. Drift Pursuit will be out. We'll lose George Christoforou, Konstantin Sharenko, Stephen McConnell, another one of our wildcard drivers out. Clint Van Oort, the big shock, out of qualifying, double zeros. Unfortunately, the Dutch driver, we lose him. But let's take a look at what we got coming up tomorrow. Our battle tree for top 32 competition. Don't forget, kicks off here tomorrow exclusively on Red Bull TV. This is the qualifying points first, my apologies. This is the guys that took those points in qualifying that we were speaking about. Shanahan taking those all-important 8 points could mean a whole lot when we head to the final in Poland.
It literally could mean the difference in the championships, because that's a set of battles right there. So it's a big move for him. I mean, even for Jack and James to start moving their way up the order as well. Dwayne McKeever. I mean, everybody that's in the points. This is a big thing, and every point matters.
It certainly does. Every single point matters here at Drift Masters, and we've seen it in the past before. So as our fans now start to exit,
I think they're just going into the paddock to
congratulate the drivers, take a look around some of the cars. Don't forget, we'll be back here tomorrow exclusively on Red Bull TV for our Top 32, where Becky will be opening the show. And a massive thank you to our judges, David Kalas, Rasmo, Tormo, and Chris Witowski.
Yeah, they're already clocking out. They're done. They're like, yep, job done, boys.
Job done, yeah, clocked out. Tough day in the office for our judges once again. And
very tough.
Our judges always doing a sterling job here at Drift Masters. We're going to fire it down, though, to Becky in the paddock. Becky, what a day of drifting.
Absolutely, what a day of drifting it's been. But I've just managed to catch up with Peter Wiensek because, Peter, that was a run that we don't normally see from you, and there seem to be some issues with your car. Do you know right now what's up, or is this very concerned conversation happening behind us going to let us know in a second?
Yeah, exactly. We are just a few seconds away to getting know precisely what happened, but unfortunately the car died approaching the last corner, so then I wasn't managed to finish the last run. And still nothing to cry about. 11th place could be better, of course, but it is what it is. Great congratulations to the Irish pack, to Connor, Jack, James, and Dwayne. It's definitely great for a local audience to see that outcome. So that's nice. And yeah, the most important part for us is that we are in the top 32, and we'll be batting tomorrow.
Now, coming from Poland, it's got a really strong drift community out here, but when you come from Poland to Ireland, do you feel how big it is here? Do you think that Mondello Park is pretty much the home of European drifting? Or would you say, no, maybe it's in Poland?
It's definitely one of the most important places in the calendar, that's for sure, 100%. And yeah, the most talented drivers are from here, so I would say, yeah, it's one of the biggest events in the calendar, and it's great that we can be a part of that and fight for the best place. For now, we have to fight the issues, but hopefully it's going to be our last one for this weekend.
Absolutely, Peter. Well, good luck for tomorrow, and we look forward to seeing you out there on the track. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Becky. Yeah, I mean, such a shame. This is what happened if you didn't catch it and you were getting a quick refreshment during that. And this is it. Yeah, got into the outside zone 6 and the car just shut down. I see that big backfire. And, well, hopefully it's not bad news for Wiensek. We know that this happened in Spain. They changed the engine overnight. The team worked tirelessly through the night to make sure that car was ready for top 32 action. And I mean, talking of top 32 action, here he is, our battle trio. It'll be Conor Shanahan taking on Dave Egan, some heavy hitting battles. Benedictus Gerber take on Zacharil.
Yeah, there's a lot in here. Piotr will take on Connor Falvey, Mika Keski-Korpi, Alan Hines. That is going to be a really interesting one. I mean, Jason Benet, Juha Rintanen, driver that's completely on form versus a driver that's just known for being crazy consistent. Oh, Dylan Carvey, Jack Shanahan. Yeah, there's not a, once again, there's never a bad battle in top 32.
No, there's never a bad battle here at Drift Masters, and as we always say, that every single battle looks like a final battle. Well, ladies and gentlemen, from me, Jacob, from Becky Evans down there in the paddock, we'll be live back here tomorrow at Mondello Park for Red Bull Drift Masters Ireland. Our top 32 will kick off at 11:15 local time. Make sure you tune in exclusively on Red Bull TV. From us here at Drift Masters, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, goodbye.